deepest and toughest league in America, the Big 12 Conference, back at it again. First full weekend of conference matches, and it's TCU and K-State for the second straight night from Morgan Family Arena, the new $30 million home of Kansas State volleyball. Courtside with you again, Brian Small, along with former two-time All-American Liz Wagner-Bush. Glad you could join us here today on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. The Wildcats go into this matchup licking their wounds a little bit after TCU, a dominant showing in yesterday's match. It was fun volleyball, not so much for K-State.
Yeah, you know, K-State started off really well and then just kind of tapered off, whereas TCU came alive, and we'll see if they can find that consistency here tonight.
We'll get to your keys in a moment, but when you talk about last night's match, it's TCU at the net with the blocks. One of the best teams in the country showed it off with Bree Green. Yeah, Bree Green was phenomenal last night. 10 blocks. She had 5 kills. She's hitting .571 last night. On the season, 64 blocks, averaging almost 1.5 blocks per set. She's getting the job done for TCU, and they want to get her more involved. On the other side, Sydney Bolding has been unbelievable at the net for K-State. Last night, she only had 3 blocks, but has 54 blocks on the season, averaging 1.7 blocks a set. That is phenomenal numbers. They need to get her more involved offensively. She's really come alive for them, and a key part of that K-State offense. She is 4th in the nation in blocks per set at that number you said, second best in the Big 12. And again, these two teams both rank in the top 4 nationally in blocks per set coming into play today. There's Jason Williams, the head coach of TCU, the second-year head coach after 7 years at Baylor as a top assistant. What are the keys for his team today? Yeah, for TCU, they got to find that consistency. You know, second night playing the same team in a row. Can they find what they found last night and really put the pressure on K-State? Their second key, defensive pressure, did a really nice job blocking. That really rattled K-State offensively. And then for K-State, win, serve, and pass. We say it so many times. They struggled last night. Service errors and then not able to pass well enough to get into their offensive rhythm. They have to win that tonight to win. And then the errors. Eliminate those errors. Such a key part of K-State's ability to play these top-notch teams. The interesting part about the serve and pass, K-State comes into this matchup 5th in the league in service aces. That's usually their strength, averaging 1.6 serves aces per set. On the other side, though, TCU, one of the hardest teams to get a service ace against. They're second best in the Big 12 in the least amount of service aces given up, and we saw that last night. Only 1 ace for K-State, 9 errors as they try to get after it today. The Wildcats back both teams changed it up as far as the uniform combos. K-State in those anthracite uniforms with the lavender sleeves. We look at Brenna Schmidt, who will make her second straight start. Lavender numbers and trim for K-State as well. TCU in their road grays with the blood red armbands along with purple lettering. Off and running from Morgan Family Arena, second straight night for these two teams matching up, and Anaya Clinton gets K-State off the board to start with a kill. Yeah, we talked about how important Anaya Clinton has been to this K-State team. Good sign here, kill first set of the game. Wildcats got out to a good start in the last 2 first sets in their last 2 matches, but eventually got swept in both matches. It's the consistency part that has eluded K-State's run as of late. They have lost 2 straight, 3 of the last 4, and there is Green making her presence felt right from the get-go. Yeah, we saw it last night. Her ability to change direction up in the air is really quite phenomenal. And again, it's that leaping ability that she has to cut it around the block. Bramschreiber wearing the purple uniform today as libero. Quick set to Brenna Schmidt, up by Buckley. Here's Parra's first swing, and she is blocked by Schmidt at the center of what almost was a triple block. And we saw this last night. Sets early on in the match for Parra were way inside. You see she's going way inside. She doesn't have that angle she likes to hit, and Brenna Schmidt, nice job finishing the job. 2 straight starts for the 6'6" sophomore at Eagle, Nebraska. Good serve by K-State, and a point for TCU as Bolding came across and played the ball as it was being set. A bad break for Bolding and the Wildcats. Side out over to the Horned Frogs, and here's Ashley Knowles. Talked about this last night quite a bit, but the former high school All-American, tremendous season last year, coming back from injury, just kind of getting back in the rhythm for TCU, and Jason Williams feeling like that's the missing piece for them.
Yeah, she had some important kills for TCU last night and really provided some defensive effort there as well, which Coach Williams has really been working with on his team.
6 blocks for Knowles to tie season high that match last night. 7 kills. Service there here gives K-State the ball. Well done by Sylvester, giving K-State all sorts of fits on another middle swing.
Yeah, really both middles for TCU already just throwing it down. K-State got to do a better running down those balls, not letting those tips beat them.
Didn't hear much from Sylvester in last night's match. Just 2 kills. She added 4 blocks, but the biggest block presence up front for the Horned Frogs at 6'3". Another kill on the left. This one for Carter.
Yeah, it's a great swing by Carter. High off the hands, big block there. They know the ball is going to Carter when she's front row, and so good job hitting those high hands. Such an important part for Aaliyah Carter to have success.
Last night, 15 kills for Carter, but she had 3 service errors. Part of a night where K-State had 9 service errors, just 1 ace. Knowles from behind the 3-meter line. What an up by K-State's Morris. Fernholz to get a start today on the right side. Back to the left. This is Myers. Dug out by TCU. They go middle again to Para, trying to sneak it in that right side. Cats go back to Myers, and she did get the touch. Point to K-State on the rally. Jason Williams may want to challenge. He's got the card.
And we saw this early in the match last night. Coach Williams challenging a touch. Looks like a repeat here tonight.
Now, a good look on that shot right there from our cross-court low-angle camera. I do not believe that TCU touched the ball. They were adamant. Coach Williams asked. Mary Farragher is our floor official today. Brad Aberg up on the tower. So Mary will take a look at this and see if it is indeed a touch and it stays that way, or if it will be reversed on the challenge by TCU. Looking for a rotation change of the ball, the finger to be bent back here.
That's a great shot there.
I don't think the rotation of the ball changed at all, nor did the finger get bent back. One more look here. You're seeing the pictures that Mary Farragher is seeing as well. She is in control of reversing it or playing it forward. Don't believe there's a touch there. This system that they have here at K-State is a brand new system, and one of the things that the referees have said they like about it, it's a touch screen as well. So they can touch the screen, zoom in if they want to, pinch and zoom, just like you would on your phone. Yeah, there you go. There's a look at what Mary is taking a look at. All the different angles. Pretty fancy. Now we get the ruling. And it is out, no touch. So Jason Williams wins the challenge and keeps 2 in his back pocket. So instead of K-State with a side out and a 2-point lead, we are tied. Horned Frogs to serve. This will be Riley Weigelt, a sophomore from Austin, who came in yesterday as a server and back row player. Serving at Myers. K-State sets middle back for Carter. Good up by Weigelt. Rayola. Bolding. Got up a little quick. Para from the back row. Morris with one hand kept it alive and over. And K-State denying TCU a chance to get it over. Bolding was right there. And the Wildcats get the side out.
We saw Green tried to throw it down again, but too sharp on that angle. Didn't even get it over the net. Great up there by Morris, though. Just putting those hands up.
Morris early on playing well for K-State. Another quick set to Green. The Wildcats snuff it out. And then Green punching it over. It's out of bounds. So back-to-back quick sets to the middle or quick attacks by the middle, and K-State is hip to the game.
Gosh, Brenna Schmidt again did a nice job being ready for that quick. It's so fast out of the setter's hand, that middle attack.
A serve to the back line by Bolding will be long. That's the first error of the day for the Wildcats. So Bolding will come out. Mac Morris back into the back row. Horned Frogs come into this match having won 5 in a row now, 7 of the last 8. They seem to be picking up steam as Big 12 play begins, and a big block for Green, along with Knowles against Myers.
That combo last night was pretty unstoppable for TCU. They just do a nice job. Timing is really good, working well together.
Anything cross court, Green is going to be all over it. And another block as that set was going to get too tight to the net. 2 mistakes by K-State in a row. They had not been error prone until that point. Hinkle, middle back, and that's good for Carter.
And much better tempo there for Carter. We saw last night a little bit of a struggle with that back row pipe, but there, much better rhythm. That set was perfect. Deep corner shot by Carter.
It also feels like K-State's not just throwing it out left side all the time.
Yep, getting more hitters involved, making that TCU block stay honest.
Solcheski into serve. Rayola on the right side splits the back row. Now Rayola had missed a couple of matches coming into play today, but 7 kills at .333, couple of blocks in yesterday's match against K-State. Playing very well here in the Little Apple. Clinton on the left, dug by Rayola. And an illegal set by Buckley. A break for K-State as they'll side out.
It's interesting, we saw last night Buckley started and played all the way around first set. Then second set, they brought in a backup. They ran a 6-2 in the last 2 sets of the night. We'll see how TCU adjusts.
Just across the net and an ace for the Wildcats, Grigorski. Just 1 ace in the entirety of the match last night for K-State. It came in the 3rd set, so they are hopeful for a better performance tonight with serve. And Grigorski now the team lead with 14 aces. Picking on Para, not a great pass, but it works out for TCU.
We see Carter, her hands were just turned a little up, and that allowed that ball to just ricochet out of bounds. She was trying to turn it back in, just popped it back up in the air and out of bounds.
Tremendous play by Buckley to get it to Knowles. Knowles again. Morris with the dig. Here comes Carter, but again the cross-court shot denied. Sylvester was there.
Yeah, we saw TCU initially in the first set struggled digging that, stopping that cross-court shot by Carter. Much better job there by Sylvester to drop that left hand.
Clinton on the right side. So the Wildcats, even a little bit out of system here, Liz, are starting to go a little different than they did last night. We saw such a left side heavy attack by K-State, and it just played right into the hands of one of the best blocking teams in the country.
Yeah, it's so important for K-State to find that offensive balance, get more hitters involved, and makes it harder on the block.
Knowles with a flip to the corner. Morris got a hand to it. Carter tip try, great save, Bramschreiber. Para tries a tip, that's blocked back. TCU got it up and over with Rayola. Bolding could have gotten called for a lift on that shoulder swing. Ball might have been headed out, played by Bramschreiber. Sylvester gets it over. Who wins this rally? Carter, another tip try. Para, blocked!
Another inside set for Para, and she's ripping away at that ball. And just K-State with the wall. Clinton with a great setup on that block.
What a great rally by both teams. An encouraging start if you're a K-State fan. TCU, we saw this yesterday, though, kind of just playing volleyball, hanging around, and they turned it on late in the first set. Carter again forced to tip. Buckley throws it out to Knowles. Back to Carter. Blocked by Sylvester.
I think Carter's got to maybe go more at the right side hitter's hands. She's finding Sylvester's, and she's doing a nice job of pressing that block.
4 blocks in the first set for TCU. 3rd in the league in blocking, 7th in the nation. Wildcats come back with a side out.
Yeah, good thing getting Bolden going. We've talked about it so many times. I think she's a big key to this K-State offense. And she has great numbers hitting percentage-wise if they can get her the ball. 9th in
the league at .350 hitting, but just 1.9 kills per set. K-State wants to get that number up. But there's a lot of other factors at play. It's kind of like saying, hey, we want to get our ground game going in football. Well, if you can't block, then you can't really get the ground game going. And if volleyball, if you can't pass, kind of hard to get your middles.
Really hard. Hard to really set a middle beyond that 10-foot line.
Second error by K-State in their service. Para now. A bullet of a serve has Hinkle on the run. Off the net for Carter. K-State scrambling. Carter with a deep throw. Para is there. It's Knowles. Caught the tape, slowed it down. Not a good set, and that will be called against K-State.
Yeah, we see that spin of the ball as it comes out of the setter's hands. Usually that's a sign of a double.
Parr. Quick set, Bolding. Diving save, but over. K-State with Carter trying to kill it. Bolding blocks it, a tough try, and then the second, Fernholz able to bounce it off the Horn Frog defense, and a kill for Fernholz.
A good play at the net by K-State. Being ready for the tip by Buckley, Sylvester. They weren't going to let that get over.
Carter serving at Parr. She'll get it back. Tip try. Morris with another dig. Shaylee Myers off the block.
Shaylee Myers did a really nice job last night for K-State when she had opportunities, hitting high hands, taking advantage of the block. Good start there by Myers.
Missed one earlier trying to go high hands. Had 3 errors in her first 4 swings, but gets a kill there. Rayola, tip over the block. Back to Myers. Again, tries to go line. Rayola back, blocked by Bolding.
That is a huge block, and you notice that set was very tight for Rayola. Huge stuff block by K-State.
Both teams big at the net here in the first.
Check it out.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
You know, with the new Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery, you're supposed to scratch both sides. Well, suit yourselves. But with Rivalry Riches, you could scratch your way up to $50,000. Just be sure to play both sides.
You're getting thirsty, bold, refreshing. So good. I mean, dude.
Championship on the line. Good! It's good!
K-State at the timeout on the first set, up by 2 over TCU, and another good crowd here at Morgan Family Arena. Already the Big 12 among the nation leaders in attendance. A lot of young ones being entertained by what they see out on the court to this point as well. And if you're K-State, you have to be encouraged with the start because of how it finished yesterday. They've been lower air, and their block has come to play, and their serves have given them a chance. Back row attack for Knowles. Myers way off the net and just long.
That was close. Whew. That ball dropped last minute. Yeah, K-State definitely doing a better job keeping things in front of them, not making those errors and putting more pressure on TCU.
And a service there by the Horned Frogs. So Weigelt, who's in there just for that, unable to keep it in. And now she'll come out. There's Jason Mansfield with a smile and a conversation for Mac Morris. Going to hear more about Mackenzie Morris coming up a little bit later in this set from Hannah Whetstone, who's with us again here tonight. And a quick set for Green and a turnabout for the Horned Frogs as Green gets her second.
Yeah, just a small seam there between the K-State block, and she's able to find it. Myers didn't completely commit to that block.
Two-time first-team Summit League player at Denver the last couple of years, in her final season now playing for the Horned Frogs. Knowles gets a good rip and puts it off the top of the near club area. It was a little earlier in the first set that Knowles was kind of pushing on that shoulder after his swing, and you wondered, and then you saw a couple of tips in a row, you wondered if that was an issue, but clearly looks to be all right. Here comes Fernholz on a slide. Dug, but over the net. Quick set, Brenna Schmidt, and she's able to get it in.
Yeah, best hit there by Brenna Schmidt. We've seen just not the connection hasn't quite been there for her to really get a good swing. That was her best swing so far of her starting career here at K-State.
Wildcats felt like they wanted to lean more into the blocking side of things, so they put the 6'6" sophomore in the lineup. Fernholz slides over to the right side, where K-State's been a little still searching for an answer, giving Izzy Szulczewski, who they had been playing at times at right side, a break. Here's Knowles after receiving the serve. Clinton knocks it over, but Green is waiting.
Green likes that kind of wrist-away throw down to the court there. K-State hasn't been able to stop that. It comes at a pretty high point in front of the 10-foot line for Green.
Neither team hitting well. Less than 150 for both sides. Here comes Clinton. Buckley throws it all the way left for Parra. Quick swing, but she rifled it out of bounds.
Yeah, she got that line shot she wanted, but just a little wide for Parra. We saw this last night. She started pretty slow, but really came alive later in the game for TCU.
Finished with 14 kills. 7 straight double-figure matches and kills for Parra. Again, the National Player of the Week after that 34 in 4 sets a week ago against Florida State. Knowles, set was a little bit behind her. Carter, a big swing and finish.
That's such a better swing for Carter. You see how high into that seam she's ripping the ball, and that's right between Knowles and Green's hands, and just is able with that power to get it through that block.
Carter again. Knowles up by Szulczewski. Thrown out for Clinton. Might have been headed out. Bram Sharper thought it might have been touched, so she played it. Clinton, big swing, gets the finish. Jason Mansfield off the bench, clapping and liking what he sees. A much different K-State team than we saw last night.
Yeah, great defensive effort, and then just taking care of the ball. Better, I think, decisions by the setters to distribute that ball, because you thought for sure it was going to go outside to Carter, but Clinton with the kill.
Defense has been the name of the game here early on. Mac Morris already with 12 digs for K-State. And for more, Mackenzie Morris. Let's throw it over to Hannah Whetstone.
Thanks so much, Brian. Senior libero Mackenzie Morris is a constant for K-State's back row. Morris has produced 20 or more dig matches this season, improving her career total to 22. She joined the 1,000 digs club last season and tallied on 14 digs in last night's match against TCU, and she currently sits at number 2 in the Big 12 for digs per set.
Yeah, 4.67%. Thank you, Hannah, and already has almost matched the entire night of last night. One thing you mentioned at the beginning of the day here was win, serve, and pass, but along with that is consistency in the back row for K-State in that serve and pass. It's digs right now, but that's all kind of tied together. You can't pass if you can't dig, and it's all part of it, right? And Mac Morris is doing the job.
Yeah, Mac Morris is kind of that steady Eddie for K-State, and she does a nice job putting herself in a good position to make plays, and then she just hustles. And you don't see, she doesn't do a whole lot. She's not real flamboyant out there on the court, but she works hard. She's always out there for K-State doing a great job.
Native of Texas, Morris out of Dallas, Ursuline Academy. Has led K-State in digs and has been the libero from day one on campus. 88 matches started in a row, now 89 here today. Knowles, a flip towards the back corner. Wildcats in system, go right side. Clinton through the block as Green was late.
Yeah, there was a big hole in that block. Para had gone out to take line because Clinton previously hit line. She went out that far, and then Green's just not able to close.
K-State trying to end what has been a 6-set losing streak. Straight set sweeps by Rice and TCU the last 2 matches, trying to end that here with a set 1 win. Horned Frogs a bit rattled on the serve by K-State, just controlled over the net. All the way left. Carter gets the kill. And it feels like K-State's serve is what's causing a little bit of the distress on the side of the Horned Frogs. They're going to use their second and final timeout here.
Yeah, it's definitely not coming quite as easy for TCU tonight. They're really pushed back. The serves are nice and deep. That's really pushing those passers real deep, and that's pulling that setter off the net some as well. And so they just aren't able to get the offensive rhythm that we saw last night.
K-State has heated up a little bit, 171 hit percentage after struggling against the block of the Horned Frogs to start. 4 kills each for Aaliyah Carter and Anaya Clinton. Clinton, 4 kills in 7 swings, hitting .571. Well, Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. Starting October 28th, the 2023 Sprouts Farmers Market Big 12 Soccer Championship from Round Rock, Texas gets underway. Only the top 10 finishing teams during the regular season will compete in the championship, and you can watch all the action on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. See it live in person at the Round Rock Multi-Purpose Complex. Tickets on sale at Big12Sports.com. Good environment here in Morgan Family Arena. Place rocking from the get-go. It has all the acoustics and loudness of our Hearn Fieldhouse in its glory days, the old home of K-State Volleyball, the old basketball arena on campus. A facility that shares the structure with the Morris Family Olympic Training Center as well on the other side, which houses 12 of the K-State 16 teams in training and in strength and conditioning. So out of the timeout, TCU out of timeouts, K-State serving with Grigorski. They go to Knowles, dug by Grigorski. Back to Clinton, blocked this time by TCU.
Clinton tried to go line again, but Para did a nice job turning those hands in and getting the block.
Last night, K-State had more kills, more digs, but more errors. And ultimately, that's why they lost the match. In this first set, they've limited their errors. And because of it, they have rolled up, again, more kills, more digs, and have the lead. Serving here with Morris. Knowles. Long, but a touch called. TCU the point.
Yeah, K-State's done a nice job just limiting those scoring runs by TCU. They were rolling off some points, and then they dug themselves such a hole they couldn't get back. And now they've got TCU in a good position here to win the set.
K-State signing out at 74%, to your point. Para. Morris got a hand on it, but nobody else will get it. Horned Frogs back-to-back points to pull within 3. And now K-State, sensing momentum may be turning, will burn a timeout themselves. Big 12 play underway elsewhere in the conference. Iowa State able to sweep West Virginia. Central Florida swept Cincinnati. Iowa State in the third set was down big. Came all the way back, won in extra points, 27-25 against the Mountaineers. Texas, Oklahoma went 28-26 of the first set. Sooners at home nearly had the Longhorns and had match point a couple of times, or set point a couple of times, but couldn't get it. Texas won the first set. Now they're up big in the second. And the Jayhawks in Lubbock take on Texas Tech, close to a 2-0 lead. So K-State trying to get their first conference win of the season and even up this 2-match series with TCU. The final time these two teams will meet this season. And end what has been a little bit of dominance lately by the Horned Frogs in the series. TCU has won 3 straight for the last 5 against K-State. Jason Williams undefeated so far in his career against K-State, but in danger of dropping this first set. Big weekend for the Wildcats. K-State football at home tomorrow, hosting UCF in their first ever Big 12 game. 3 straight evenings of K-State sports in the complex. Willie will be busy.
Yes.
Audrey Knowles to serve. And an ace off of Grigorski. That's the first ace for the Horned Frogs. And just like that, TCU within 2. A 3-0 run by the Horned Frogs. Trying to sneak out a set 1 win. Bowling blocked by Sylvester.
And we saw this last night. TCU started to take away that wrist away shot of Boulding, and she made the adjustment. That set was a little low, though, I think, for her as well. 6 blocks now for the Horned Frogs in the first set. Clinton hard into the block to tie it. Para off the block. 5 in a row by the Horned Frogs. We are tied at 23. K-State will use a second timeout. Just when you felt like K-State was in control of this set, I don't know, mental lapse. They kind of got a little lax on their responsibilities there. You saw Clinton reaching out of bounds, giving Para that ability to use her hands. If she would have just pressed those hands a little bit more.
Para, you could see, kind of did that over her head. A no look. She was looking cross court. No looker over her head down the line and off the block of K-State. Both teams deliberating strategy here. Jason Mansfield a moment with his coaches, then into the huddle. He has mentioned that K-State has practiced as well as they have all season here the last few weeks. They just, at times, find themselves, panic's too big of a word, but maybe just wanting it too much at times during a game. So how do you as a player stay focused, bring a little bit more extra, but yet stay in that good,
stay loose,
stay in the right zone, so to speak,
and stay loose but also confident, because you also see they start to get kind of tight. We see more tipping instead of kind of going for it, and you know, that just, they have to just build that confidence as a team. And right now, since there's some newness to this group, they just haven't been able to find that cohesion to play in these tight moments and really finish that job.
Knowles. An ace out of the timeout. and it's set point for the Horned Frogs.
You see they're really working that seam between Carter and Grigorski.
Just across, Grigorski eaten up by the serve. Thrown out, Carter. Blocked, and the Horned Frogs come from behind with 7 straight points to end the first set. What a showing by TCU. 7 blocks in the first set alone.
Since we started looking for a better cashback credit card,
options have been coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Popeye's new sweet and spicy wings are perfectly sweet and wonderfully spicy, just like my nana. Popeye's new sweet and spicy wings don't make sense. Marinated and tossed in a blend of chili, garlic,
and creativity and commerce thrive. Viant is pioneering a new approach.
Just like my nana. We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Welcome to life in the new open web, where innovation keeps pace with imagination, and the future arrives daily. Viant is pioneering a new approach to media, combining AI with human insight, creating new ways to reach customers and new standards of measurement, both on and offline. Viant, built for the new open web, built for now.
Why do I choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
So I can keep them all guessing.
So I know their game better than they do.
So I can take my game to the next level.
Because when your bed is this smart, you sleep at the right temperature all night. That's why 80% of NFL players choose the Sleep Number smart bed.
For the 4th straight set, K-State has more kills than their opponent in TCU, but errors the issue, and notably blocks. 7 blocks by the Horned Frogs in that first set against K-State. Wildcats, who led 23-18, looked to be in command and winning the first set, but give up 7 straight points to end the first, and the Horned Frogs walk away with a set 1 win. It's one of those dangerous moments because TCU didn't really play well, kind of muddled through the first set. K-State played very sharp for a good part of that. And now you kind of wonder about the emotional psyche of both of these two teams here.
Yeah, definitely K-State just struggling to, what is their identity? What are they going to represent as, on the court? They got to have that mental toughness to finish those matches. They're going to have tight, very well contested sets, as they move further at the Big 12. And they got to find that will to finish a set because they had themselves in the driver's position.
Aaliyah Carter, 5 kills to lead K-State, and all players, Anaya Clinton with 4, 3 each for Bree Green and Andre Knowles, with a bigger number, the block numbers. Sylvester 4, Green 3, Knowles 4, all in the first set. Those are unbelievable numbers for all 3 of those ladies, 2 each for Bolding and Clinton for K-State, who equally had 3 blocks in the first set, which is a good number.
Yeah.
But it's not 7, and this is now 4 sets against K-State. TCU has rolled off, 21 blocks in 4 sets.
That's pretty phenomenal numbers by TCU. Why they're, leading in the nation almost with blocks. You see that defensive effort that Coach Williams has really wanted from his team is paying off right now, and playing tough competition early in the preseason has helped as well.
Yep, Horned Frogs opened the year playing against Minnesota and Wisconsin in that Big 12, Big 10 challenge. Lost both, but kind of after they got their feet underneath them, now they have been rolling and into the regular season. The win over Florida State and A&M during this stretch where they've won now 7 of 8. Now 6 in a row and 8 of 9, I should say. And it is Grigorski to stay in there and serve for K-State as they look for options. Grigorski has an ace here so far tonight. Knowles, Clinton, Carter. Saved by Bramschreiber. Back to Knowles, who's got a heavy dose of the swings tonight. Clinton on the right. Left side for Parra. Back to Carter. Kind of a tough swing. Parra snaps it all the way over near side, and it cuts inside the 3-meter line.
Wow, Parra right there almost was facing like she was going to hit down line, but then she just wrist away last minute in the spin on the ball. You saw it as it came right towards us, enough to keep it in the court.
Back-to-back swings by Parra where she's not even looking where she's swinging, and delivers an absolute hammer. Clinton up the line, missed it wide. 2 quick points by TCU. And this is where to go back to, you wonder what the psyche is of K-State, because, boy, you had it. You had it running, and then again, the same problems kind of creeped up where they lost what bit of momentum or panic that they had. All of a sudden, now it's 9 straight points by TCU. That gets ended with a Brenna Schmidt tip-in just over the net.
You know, whatever it takes, whether Brenna Schmidt can come on and be a spark for this team. Somebody needs to step up, get this team kind of firing on all cylinders again. Find the confidence, try not to avoid the block, and go hit those high hands.
Parra down the line, misplayed by Szulczewski. Morris gave it a look but couldn't get there.
Just those missed opportunities, you know, just a misplay. We've seen that last night as well. Just plays, just the ball not quite bouncing their way. Just unfortunate. Those are the plays they need.
Serve receive wasn't great. Thrown out to Carter, and she is goofed.
Yeah, that ball was inside, and Carter rips it against Sylvester's hands. She's got to maybe go back at Buckley, maybe deep corner. Find that deep corner. Make defense make a play.
That's the hardest thing to do when you're the outside. You're the star outside hitter. Service error here by the Horned Frogs, a break for K-State. And Carter, and you're trying to put the team on your back and get things turned around and get it. And all you want to do is go up there and just absolutely smash it. Difficult to try and, as you said, in that moment, let emotion set to the side and come back with a crafty play.
And we know Carter has the ability to mix up that shot, cut it up.
Service error by Hinkle, who just rotated in the 2-setter rotation. You've been there as a player. You know the delicate balance you have to walk as an outside hitter. When do I go get this? When can I just use the emotion to carry the team, and when can I pull it back a little bit? Bolding, one-on-one, unable to get past Sylvester, and the block party continues in the Little Apple.
Yeah, great pass there by Grigorski. And it's almost tough because when they do get a good pass, you know it's going middle. So that TCU block is just setting camp on Bolding.
K-State wants so badly to get their All-American candidate off and running. Now Grigorski unable to handle the rocket from Parra. An ace from Melanie Parra. Last night struggled a bit with her serve, had 4 errors.
You see, she's using a little bit more of a top spin serve.
See here, Jason Mansfield in the background was screaming for a timeout, but could not get Mary Farragher's attention. Finally does. And we'll head to a break. TCU with an early 7-2 lead on the Wildcats as they try to find an answer. Horned Frogs rolling in the Little Apple.
This is Coach Chris Kleiman with a message of hope for families battling drug addiction. No one takes drugs like meth, cocaine, and ecstasy expecting to become addicted. You should know that addiction can happen to anyone because it's a disease of the brain. But that also means recovery is possible. Addiction doesn't have to be permanent, and the state of Kansas is ready to assist you every step of the way.
Visit findtreatment.gov or call the Kansas Substance Abuse Referral Line at 866-645-8216.
Kate's Heating and Cooling's 50th anniversary celebration is going on now with unprecedented savings on new heating and cooling systems. How would you like to join the party? With Kate's, you choose the style that fits you best. Will it be 48 months at 0% financing or a 10-year parts and labor warranty on new equipment, including a 10-year annual maintenance contract? Go to katesheatingandcooling.com to make your selection. Who can offer you savings that fit your style? That's right.
We started at 12, running 11 deep, and dropping dimes since 9-6. What happened when the Big 8 met the Southwest? 7 Heismans, count them, with 6 at the net, 5 on the floor, and 4 schools stronger. We put up threes, throw up deuces, and make one thing clear. We've always been greater than 12.
(25-23), TCU won the first, 7-2 lead already here in the second. Wildcat fans hoping for a bit of turn of fortune, and to do that, we'll see if they had the right message in the huddle. Hannah Whetstone was listening in on that. What did you see, Hannah?
Thanks, Brian. Head coach Jason Mansfield imploring this team to get those passes up at the net so that these setters can connect with the hitters.
Serve receive has been an issue. It was not that big of a problem for K-State in the first. They are struggling in the second to be giving their setters any chance. And as you said, becoming a little predictable. The only time they do get a perfect pass,
they go middle. Yeah, it's just easy for that block to kind of know those tendencies. When you can get those passes more regularly and throw that ball outside sometimes in system, it really makes that block stay true and stay honest.
Good serve by Carter. And Riola misses long. So serve received, as you said before. Serve and pass. K-State does serve receive well. They turn it into a point. Then on their serve, put TCU in a bind. K-State trying to get back into it here, trying to score 2 points in a row. Now make it 3. We'll see. Horned Frogs go to the middle. Sylvester. Myers a bit off the net. Does she get a repeat? No, it's a pipe from Carter and could not get that down.
Coach Williams with a great dig over there.
Indeed. Longtime club coaches in Jason Williams and Jason Mansfield, different parts of the country, but ran into each other quite a bit in the club circuit. An overpass. That's not close to the net that Hannah Whetstone was talking about. That's the kind of, that's too close to the net and over the net.
It is. You want it kind of about the 3-meter line or the 3-foot line. You don't want the 10-foot line. You want about the 3-foot line.
Halfway between the 10-foot line and the net. Perfect example there. K-State gets at the Fernholz and she delivers.
Yeah, Fernholz is so good with the slide. So moving her to that right side allows her still to swing on the slide approach. And she is very, very good at that attack. And if they can get her going, and again, that's really hard on the block, and that will help K-State find some rhythm there.
Heady play by Buckley, but she missed it long, or wide of the mark. Jason Williams thought about challenging, but then decided to not to, which is the right call. Look out to us. It was right in front of us. Bolding serving. Para tipping and into the campfire.
Para is so smart there, doing a much better job mixing up her shot, especially when she struggled a little bit early getting blocked. See, now she's being smart, seeing what's in front of her, and that allows her to get those kills.
5 kills, 5 digs for Para, so starting to heat up. Myers answers back to get the side out for K-State. We're going to hear more about Para coming up a little later from Hannah. Hinkle out on a 2-setter rotation. Sholszewski in. Oregon State transferred. Serving at Para. Riola walled by Myers and Schmidt.
Myers sets that up really well, and she gets that block, taking away that cross-court shot.
4th block of the night for K-State. Quick set to Green, but long and no touch.
K-State chipping away here off some errors by TCU.
4 kills, 3 errors for the Horned Frogs in this set. A little out of character. have been a very difficult turn.
Yeah, that set was maybe right along the tape of the net. Not even high enough that Green could do anything with it.
Jason Williams, a word with Buckley. Saw him sub out Buckley for a little bit to a 2-setter rotation last night. Not the case so far. Solszewski long here. 1 ace, 4 errors for K-State. Frogs by a point and serving. Raiola. Myers thought she had an opening. Para. Clinton, big block in front. Raiola from the pipe. That's blocked by Schmidt. K-State wanted 4 hits. Still playing. Para. Morris back in. Back to Clinton. Dug by TCU. Yeah, Para slipped as she went up. Myers will finish the rally. And now some concern on Para, who was stretching out that lower left leg. You can see that Para is wearing a wrap on that left calf.
Yeah.
But she, you can see her flexing it out a little bit. Just as she went up, she kind of went down.
I didn't quite see, like, if she rolled her ankle or.
She stretched it out, seems to be all right, but clearly affected the later part of that rally. Big win for the Wildcats as Gregorski serves. TCU on the run here. Raiola does well to get to it. Wildcats trying to get the lead back. Carter, big swing. Bramschreiber covers. And Knowles inside the hands of Schmidt and Carter.
Man, you thought K-State might be able to get that, but that was so tight to the net. But man, Knowles just ripping it in that seam because Schmidt was late.
Knowles slowly started to come back into form for TCU, an all-region and unanimous first-team All-Big 12 pick a year ago. 4 kills now for Knowles. She gets that up and over. Clinton trying to kill it on the overpass, does.
And Clinton's done a really nice job. We've seen her a few times be a little more error-prone. We can kind of just rip it away, but really making some smart decisions for K-State. 5
kills now for Clinton, tied for the match lead. Morris puts it up the shoulder of Para. She'll jump on the pass. Dug by Morris. Carter then through the block.
I feel like it almost went through the hands of Knowles. She was a little bit wide.
What an up by
Yeah,
Morris.
she barely got her hands underneath that ball, but just enough.
Para, block was laid and she made him pay.
Yeah, you see how fast that set is to the outside, and that's what Coach Williams wants. He wants that tempo to beat the block.
Mexican national team, 4 years at Texas. She technically has 2 years left here at TCU if she wants them. Para waiting for that overpass. Spikes it, and K-State down a point. TCU back in front with Para back-to-back points. K-State calling for the towel. Para now with 7 kills. And just like that, the National Player of the Week started to round into form, even despite what looked like a little bit of a foot injury perhaps in this set. 7 kills, 6 digs, and an ace for Para. Carter getting a big run at it again. Knowles from the middle and off of Gregorski.
Wow, the assist by Para. Wow, she just ripped that ball, and it's hard. That ball's coming across her body as a right-handed player. That is so hard to do. She made it look easy.
Goes back to what we talked about before. Jason Williams telling us Knowles' return is going to free up Para. Both can hit that pipe shot. Both are good on the right. Both are lethal on the left. Para blocked, covered by Bramschreiber. Sylvester. Clinton, who's had a good set, but she misses wide here. And the Horned Frogs push their lead to 3.
And take note, earlier in that set, Para paused and then she took her eye off the ball, looked at the defense of K-State, so she knew where to put that ball. Just a smart play by Para.
And an ace in the back corner by the Horned Frogs Knowles. 4 aces now for TCU. Wildcats changed their alignment. Just long that time from Knowles, but close. Dangerous gamble by K-State in the back row. Hinkle to serve. Jason Mansfield, who's coached outside hitters in his entire career and has coached 5 Olympians during his time. Para over Bolding.
So smooth. If you watch her approach to that ball, just she explodes up off the floor. And just her arm swings fast, just allows her to really rocket that ball past that block because they just hadn't quite finished that block.
I said over Bolding, it was more through. It was before Bolding got there. Service error by the Horned Frogs gives the ball back to K-State. What a great matchup that is, though. You have Para, the National Player of the Week. Unbelievable start for her, leading the Big 12 in kills per set and in points. Among the nation leaders in the nation's top 7 in both of those 2 categories, going against one of the nation's best blockers in Sydney Bolding, who leads the Big 12 in blocking and is 4th in the country in blocking. And they're matched up right now in the front row, but it's Knowles who comes through again, and the left side attack for the Horned Frogs putting on their capes here tonight. Para with 8 kills, Knowles with 6. Both have over 5 digs. Carter from the middle of the back row. Knowles from behind the back line, cuffs it in. And the Wildcats will burn their 2nd timeout.
And we've seen TCU take advantage of the center of the court, what we call the heart of the court. K-State's got to find a way to run those balls down. See the hand? You see Knowles really kind of dropped her elbow, and that tells you she's going to take something off of that swing.
Kansas State down 5, and TCU, thanks to Knowles and Para, starting to put some distance between themselves and K-State. And just like last night, Para starting slow but starting to take over. For more on Melanie Para, let's go to Hannah Whetstone.
Thanks so much, Brian. Melanie Para has made quite the name for herself at TCU. But prior to being a Horned Frog, she earned a national championship last year with Texas. When asked about finding her stride at TCU, Para said, "I didn't get to play a lot at Texas, but I'm grateful for the national championship. I get to play on Mexico's national team where I play against pros. I play against women a lot older than me." She said that experience has allowed her to be successful on the court and at a collegiate level.
Thanks, Hannah. No doubt that national team experience for Para has helped guide her to this point. And you mentioned it before, it's her smart play, reading defenses, taking gambles when she can, but being smart. And like these shots, it's made the difference.
Yeah, she's definitely a smart player. You know, she kind of sat in the wings last year and didn't really get an opportunity. But here, taking full advantage of her opportunity here at TCU, and, you know, just a phenomenal athlete.
4.64 digs per or kills per set coming into play today, and 2.5 digs per set. Playing all 6 rotations. She's got 21 aces. That ranks 4th in the Big 12. Para from the back row. Morris gets her. Hinkle dodging Morris, gets it out to Myers. Again, Para from the back row. This time too long. She hunted for the far corner and commits just her 4th error.
Yeah, she right away said that was my bad. She knew what she wanted to do, but just wasn't able to execute.
Native of Sinaloa, Mexico, the story goes that Para knew the beach volleyball coach at TCU, who also has ties to Mexico. And that allowed her to have interest in the Horned Frogs. Took the visit, obviously, and then was sold on Jason Williams and the staff at TCU, but also staying in the state of Texas. She has family in that area, so wanted to kind of stay close to home.
Yeah, I think her mom likes to come and be able to watch her play, which is one of the reasons she wanted to stay in that area.
And what a boon, in addition to an already well-respected TCU team that really finished the season strong last year in Jason Williams' first year. A lot of similarities to K-State in the situation they find themselves with Jason Mansfield. The Horned Frogs in the first year under Jason Williams were a little inconsistent early. You didn't quite know what they were going to be, and then late in the season kind of turned it on, finished really strong, got to the NCAA tournament, defeated Jason Mansfield and Washington Huskies in the second round, or reached the second round. And then they started the year receiving votes at the top 25. They are back to that point, receiving votes in this week's poll, along with UCF for the Big 12. Substitution for TCU as they bring in last night's backup setter, Lily Nicholson, the true freshman from McKinney, Texas, the high school All-American. Family here for Nicholson. Her dad played football at Pitt State. Brenna Schmidt at the net tips it over.
Yeah, that's set just a little low for Schmidt. Nice job, doesn't make an error. That's important, and Schmidt coming in, still trying to find that rhythm. Not able to get a full swing, but just finds the opening in the court.
3 kills for Schmidt on only 5 attempts. Solszewski an ace for K-State. Second of the night for the Wildcats. Much needed.
Yes, that serving pressure is huge, especially when you have a team like TCU with those offensive weapons. You allow them to get in the rhythm, it's going to be trouble. So that serve is so important.
Double hit. So a new setter and a mistake by the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, that pass pulled her backwards a little bit, so she was kind of off balance setting it, and that double is going to be called a lot of times in those situations.
See the ball spinning out of her hand. Wildcats with 3 in a row. Knowles off the block of Clinton.
Yeah, Clinton reaching again. Just got to continue to make a good move and have Knowles make the error.
8 kills for Knowles. Had only 7 in 3 sets last night. Again, starting to put some things together. She works back into form. Clinton with 2 hitters, run left side. Clinton has 6 kills. Anybody's set for the taking here with Gregorski coming in to serve in the second. It was TCU who ripped off 7 straight points to end set 1 to win 25-23. K-State trying to come from behind in the second. And an ace by Gregorski, a good way to start.
Yeah, we saw Gregorski with an ace in the first set.
Horned Frogs take a timeout. They're first. Serve, receive was serve and pass. That was something you talked about on the outset as one of your keys. It feels like K-State's done a much better job of that here tonight on both ends.
Yes, definitely both ends. We saw a lot of errors at the service line, and you know, it's a fine line. We've talked about this before. Just when you serve at someone, you want to put a lot of pressure, put some heat on it. You don't want rainbows in your serving, and so, you know, that leads to more errors because you're putting more velocity behind that ball. But K-State doing a much better job of keeping that ball in play and making TCU make the errors.
Both teams double-digit errors so far. So we take a look at the Big 12 standings. Iowa State with a 2-0 record in the Big 12 after they beat West Virginia again today. UCF, no problems with Cincinnati, dispatching of the Bearcats. Texas and Oklahoma playing as we speak. They're going 4 in Lubbock. Texas Tech rebounded to win the third. KU with a 2-1 lead in that one as those two teams match up. And Texas with a 2-0 lead on Oklahoma and up by 3 in the third as they try to sweep the Sooners in the first Big 12 match for both teams. Wildcats will embark to Morgantown for a midweek matchup with the Mountaineers next week. TCU returns home to get the aforementioned Red Raiders for 2 matches in Fort Worth next Thursday and Friday. Ray Green staring down Gregorski as she serves it up. Just got an ace for K-State. They now have 3 on the night. 2 for Gregorski with her serve. Nicholson sets left side, and the antenna hit by Parra.
You have to wonder with that setting change for TCU. And as we speak, here comes Buckley back into the game.
Nicholson played well last night, but has struggled here this evening. And Jason Williams wasting no time getting Buckley, the Missouri transfer, back in. K-State a point away from set point and evening up this match. Knowles up by Szolszewski. Carter got it! It didn't look clean or on purpose, but she got it.
Yeah, that ball, she found the corner, she turned it back down the line. Very smart play there by Carter.
Caught the bit of the block. Didn't get a lot on it, but got enough. And now it's set point for K-State as they try to win their first set in the last 8. Carter now has 7 kills. Both teams hitting less than 160. It has not been a clean night. A lot of that's been the block. You would expect nothing less from 2 of the top 10 blocking teams in the nation. TCU with 9, K-State with 4. Well, the Horned Frogs with just 2 blocks in this set. K-State's been a little better about avoiding the big hands of the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, I think K-State started a little slow in this set, but they've really come along. They've found that kind of pressure that they want to put on TCU, and really it's TCU making the errors right now, and K-State's just playing their game, which is key.
7 errors by the Horned Frogs on their offense in this second set. A bit out of sorts and a bit out of character.
Yeah, you just have to wonder about that Buckley sub and the reasoning. They did have quite a lead when Nicholson came in, but definitely now Buckley back in the game for a good reason. Well,
it was 7 straight points by TCU to win set 1. K-State's put up 4 straight here to maybe steal set 2. And with Morgan Family Arena thumping behind us, another packed house, Gregorski to serve it up. 2 aces for Gregorski already. 15 now on the season. Parra tipping, dug by K-State. Parra blocked!
What a finish for K-State. The block to seal the deal for the Wildcats.
Szolszewski, the full-on dive, and then Parra denied on the roof.
Popeye's new sweet and spicy wings don't make sense. Marinated and tossed in a blend of chili, garlic, and ginger, as sweet as they are spicy.
Nice catch. Butterfingers.
Just like my Nana. We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Welcome to life in the new open web, where innovation keeps pace with imagination, and the future arrives daily. Viant is pioneering a new approach to media, combining AI with human insight, creating new ways to reach customers and new standards of measurement, both on and offline. Viant, built for the new open web, built for now.
Your first home sees a lot of firsts. From first loves to first steps. Sure, it can be a handful at times, keeping you up at night.
Come on now.
But with help from the Home Depot,
I get it. Thank you very much.
you'll find the confidence to create the first place you call your own. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
At Honda, hybrid is more than fuel efficiency. It means sporty and fun to drive, and making Car and Driver's 10 Best list for the 37th time. The new 2023 Accord Hybrid.
Back in the Little Apple, Kansas State takes set 2, and a little bit of a run to end that second set by K-State. They rip off 5 straight points to come from behind and steal the second to even this match at 1. Back courtside with you, Brian Smolder, along with Liz Wagner-Bush. Glad you could join us here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Tremendous volleyball being played by both teams right now. We have seen a lot of errors, but because of the big blocks of these two teams, that's somewhat expected. What has stood out to you? Let's start first with TCU. What has stood out to you from them?
Well, I found that sub of Buckley kind of interesting because I think that really changed the momentum that TCU had. I think that was maybe a little bit of an error coaching, but who knows what the meaning behind that was. And really for K-State, I really like their mental toughness. They were down big. They stayed true to what they wanted to do. They put pressure on TCU, and they made the errors.
Well, it certainly paid off. K-State sticking with it there in that second set. Had a bunch of early timeouts to try and get the train back on the track, so to speak, and they do. And now the numbers almost even across the board, save for those blocks. 7 of those 9 came in set 1. As you see at the bottom, K-State with a 5-0 run to end the second set. It was TCU who had a 7-0 run to end the first. We'll come back, recap keys to victory, get you started for the third set when we return on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Check it out.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
With the new Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery, you're supposed to scratch both sides. Well, suit yourselves. But with Rivalry Riches, you could scratch your way up to $50,000. Just be sure to play both sides.
You're getting thirsty. Bold. Refreshing. So good.
There are those who see the world through a different lens, who take risks, who are willing to make a stand. Because trails, they aren't blazed by the timid, but by the bold. For 150 years, TCU has been creating the next generation of leaders. To think audaciously, care compassionately, lead heroically. And now, it's our turn. Our time to lead on.
Horned Frogs trying to rally in the third set after dropping the second set, their first loss in the Little Apple. They won in straight sets last night and had won the first. Now they'll try and rally here in the third. Brian Smolder, Liz Wagner-Bush, and Hannah Whetstone all back with you. Quick recap of keys to victory that we had at the beginning of this one. Your thoughts on how these two teams have played this out?
Well, TCU started out the night. I thought they were kind of picking up right where they left off last night. But here in the second set, that consistency really became a problem for them. And then they just couldn't shut down K-State like they did last night. So maybe some question marks there for them. And then for K-State, I think they came on to win serve and pass in that second set and definitely did a much better job with their errors in the second set.
14 errors for K-State, 13 for TCU. Service errors about the same, 5 for the Horned Frogs, 4 for K-State. So if you combine service errors and attack errors, the two teams are dead even, 18 mistakes each side, and that's where we stand overall, each side with a win. So a best of 3 starts now with Weigelt back in the back row to begin with serve for TCU. Backup defensive specialist. Anaya Clinton able to cut it up the line.
Clinton going line, although Green was so late on that block, but she saw it and got the kill.
7 for Clinton. So Grigorski back to serve. 2 aces for Grigorski. She's had as many as 5 in a match this season. Green with a tough attempt. Couldn't get it down. Overpass coming. Carter couldn't kill it. Joust above the net again. TCU stays alive. They get it to Knowles. And it's taken away in the back line by K-State. Point for Knowles and a kill.
Yeah, those are those plays we've talked about, just not quite falling K-State's way, not able to control some of those kind of out-of-system plays like that. Those are, I think, important points that K-State needs to kind of start turning around.
Julia Adams, a super senior, former all Big 12 pick on the rookie team as a freshman, is in now for TCU. A little bit bigger block as Adams at 6'3" out on the left. Here's Knowles. Block, put up, over, and out by Clinton. Had the advantage, but couldn't keep it down.
Yeah, Clinton's done a pretty good job so far eliminating those errors like that. That one right there was a big one.
Buckley, shallow serve coming. Back to Clinton on the right. Block, put it up by Morris. Put over to Carter, trying to get the hands, but missed. And Carter immediately to her teammates said that was on her.
Yeah, we saw that. She had that kind of line shot to seal the deal for K-State in the second set. They're trying to repeat, just out of bounds.
Another shallow serve by the Horned Frogs. Trying to catch K-State out of system. Brenna Schmidt, only 6 swings for her. Here's the first for Adams. Clinton, cross-court dug by Buckley. Knowles down the line. Morris got underneath it. Grigorski from the middle back, no. Tip over the net and down for Green.
That was all Buckley. I almost felt like that ball was over the net. She's still able to save it. And then Green staying with her to get the kill.
See, Schmidt was convinced that Buckley was going to drop that in. Buckley's such a high offensive setter. Down to the back row. Carter through the block.
You see Carter just able to whip that ball fast enough to beat that TCU block because they were there, just their arms were still up in the air. They hadn't quite pressed down to seal the net. And it's just all those seams, like it's minute seconds that allows you to beat that block.
Tenths of a second. Carter, this time saved by Para over the net. Carter mishits it but gets it in.
She throws her hands up as an oops, I didn't mean to do that, but she got the kill. Good offensive system there for Carter. 2 nice swings in a row.
Green tried this shot earlier, but that's just too much, wrist away. And the first error of the third set by the Horned Frogs ties it up. Morris, a service error. For whatever reason, Mac Morris, who had been one of K-State's best servers, has struggled with her serve this year. Just 6 aces, now 15 errors this year. It's not at all what we're accustomed to seeing from Mac Morris.
Yeah, I was kind of noticing that a little bit with Mac Morris. Even I think Lauren Hinkle and Sydney Bolden haven't been quite as effective with their serve like we saw last year.
All 3 of those were among the best of the Big 12. Para went for the hands, missed it all.
And we saw she looked again at the block and defense in front of her. Had the right idea, just not able to execute it.
There have been a lot of great hitters that have rolled through the Big 12 the last couple of years. We've had the pleasure of calling matches, and you find yourself almost at times watching instead of working. Watching an Eggleston or a Presley, go to work, and Para now feels like it's kind of in that same vein.
Yep.
Like you just want to watch her work it, and it's you're bringing to light the nuances of her game beyond just the obvious of her going up and swinging away. Really fun to watch. Here's Bolding. Great up by Paul Bramschreiber, but she didn't get there in time. They're going to get a lift. Is it on the second contact or on Bramschreiber? Jason Williams wants the same explanation.
definitely got there, I think. I think on the set.
Yeah,
Yep.
Buckley, they got her for the lift.
And Coach Williams frustrated by that, thought it was a clean set, but it's a bit of a judgment call. It's kind of hard, like the throw.
Seems like, regardless of team, if you go down to about your chest to set, it's going to get called a lift. Knowles, could she keep it in? No.
Oh, she had a wide open net because the block was going outside to get Para. A rare error there by Knowles. She's been good tonight.
Carter was yelling at Morris to lay off of that. Good play by Carter, and she does it again, telling Morris no, and Para hits it long. That's 3 attack errors in a row, and TCU's gonna burn a timeout. Para and the Horned Frogs looking to regroup when we return.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
Get ready for kickoff, KC. Rally House has the game day gear you're looking for, including Chiefs sideline gear and the latest college styles.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, it's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Gear up in-store and online at rallyhouse.com.
Catch Coach Tang and the Cats in KC on Thursday, December 21st versus Wichita State in the T-Mobile Center.
There's the lob. And the stop is perfect. What a play.
How about this crowd tonight? Electric.
How about that? Jerome Tang loves it.
Tickets start at just $15 with a Wildcat 4-pack.
Tomlin, look out. Our fans were incredible. The excitement, the energy, oh, it was just incredible.
Go Cats.
Comenzamos con 12, corriendo con 11. Desde el 96. ¿Qué pasó cuando el grupo de los 8 se encontró con el suroeste? 7 Heismans, cuéntalos, con 6 junto a la red, 5 en la cancha y 4 escuelas fuertes. Ponemos los triples, los dobles. Una cosa está clara, siempre hemos sido más grandes que 12.
Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus is a must-have for Big 12 fans. And Saturday, October 28th, the 2023 Big 12 Cross Country Championship will take place in Ames, Iowa. The men's and women's teams from Oklahoma State looking to defend their championships. Watch all the action on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. You can also see it live in person at the Iowa State Cross Country course. Tickets on sale at Big12Sports.com. Out of the timeout by the Horned Frogs. K-State having scored the last 3. Para unable to get it down. Those 3 points have come on 3 attack errors by TCU. A joust above the net. Bowling got it down initially. Then the second swing, Myers finishes it off. And we might see another center change for TCU. Nicholson in for Buckley. K-State running points, trying to stay confident. Hannah, you got something from the timeout?
Yeah, Brian, K-State assistant coach Steve Astor was talking about the K-State's blocking strategy. They said they want to take away the line from Para, but they're not sure what Julia Adams, number 12, TCU's strategy is, so they're still going to block Engel on her.
Oh, good stuff. Nice job, Hannah. Thank you. Good insight there to the discussions that go on over on the sidelines. Steve Astor, who kind of coaches the middles and the defense for K-State, he's the top assistant. And the lead recruiter for K-State as well, the associate head coach. You see him on the left side of your screen holding the white clipboard. Here's Para. There's the line shot, but too long. Para saying definite touch. That's what she told her coach. And a review coming now for the Horned Frogs, trying to end this 6-0 run by K-State. It could go back to a 5-0 run and a switch over of the side out. Mary Farragher to take a look. TCU used a challenge earlier and won it, so they still have 2 remaining. And they'll take a look at this, see if K-State got a hand on it.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
Yep. And Mary is already done with her review. That right hand of Fernholz.
Very quick review and indeed a touch. Para almost looked disgusted as she looked to the bench to say, yeah, challenge that one. Almost like, do we really have to challenge? Yes, you do, but look at Para. What a special player. 8 kills. That'll now go to 9. So she's on the doorstep of a double-double. She has 10 digs. She came in with double-doubles in 2 of the last 3. And 4 on the season. And 1 kill away from earning number 5 of the year. Tough set. Myers with a good swing, turns it around.
Yeah, you almost feel like K-State's finding those seams. TCU's block not quite as good. They're a little late in those finishing the block. Their hands are still high by the time K-State's hitting the ball.
Bolding back to serve. And an ace for Bolding. So on cue, Bolding, who, as we said, not quite as dominant with her serve as she was last season, picks up the ace. She had 4 service aces in 2 matches last year. That's her 10th of the season. Para into the block. K-State in the back line, able to cover it. Off the shoulder of Para. They'll go Knowles for the pipe shot. Myers into one block, did not get it up enough.
Yeah, opportunity there, one-on-one opportunity, but Buckley finishing it there for TCU. It felt like K-State almost had the advantage here. Nice finish by Buckley.
Block number 10 for the Horned Frogs. And Para hits a missile out of bounds.
It's a little hit or miss for Para with her serve. When it's on, it's good, but she is very error prone.
21 aces for Para, 22 I should say, counting the one tonight, but now with 2 errors on the evening. She also has 51 service errors on the season through 46 sets. You can do the math. That's about 1 error, a little over 1 error per set.
Yeah, you get the feeling K-State kind of in the driver's seat here. Again, putting all the pressure on TCU.
This is where they were in the first set late, but then lost it. Couldn't get the ship righted. Had her a bit out of system. Knowles can't hit it over the net. The serve receive suddenly becoming an issue for TCU after really not being a problem at all. Midway through this 3rd set, it's K-State in command. Para from the right side. And there's the double-double for Melanie Para.
Yeah, again, nice high contact point. She just almost just hits it straight down, able to find that hole in that K-State defense.
Came into tonight accounting for 5.5 points a set. Clinton has fell in love with the line shot, and it's working out.
TCU just hasn't had the answer on those line shots defensively, not doing a great job of defending that line.
It should be noted that the Horned Frogs appear to be playing without one of their normal starters, both last night and tonight. Jalen Gibson, sophomore from San Antonio, who's had a fantastic season. Really before Knowles got all the way back from injury, Gibson had been kind of that revelation on the outside, paired with Para, but Gibson hasn't played not one serve here in Manhattan and is not dressed out. So an injury of some sort has limited Gibson. It's allowed Raiola to play a lot more, but as you look at this back row for TCU, Raiola a lot of times is matched up with Para as the two in the back row to pass. And Raiola, who's done well enough last night, 7 kills at .333, had a couple of blocks. Tonight has really struggled, even with her 9 digs. She has just 1 kill on 8 swings with 3 airs. So go to that loss of Gibson. There's not that other person to rotate in, other than Julia Adams, who we heard from Hannah. K-State doesn't have much in the scouting report because she hasn't played much this year. The veteran outside hitter. Service error by the Wildcats. Morris on the service error gives the ball back to TCU, and it's Knowles to serve. Knowles was the server, and that 7-0 run by TCU in the first set. Carter, one blocker in front, and she makes TCU pay.
Yeah, that's the right time right there to rip that ball. So smart by Carter. Green couldn't get there.
Yeah, I wanted to look at the replay to see where was Green, and like she had stopped, thinking maybe it would go to Boulding. TCU gambled and lost. Green blocked back by Boulding. Adams on the right. Morris with the up. Joust above the net. Wildcats get a break. Tight for Grigorski. Carter trying to hit it off the block, could not.
Almost thought she might have caught hands.
So close, but a great shot there. Good work by our camera crew. Burnholes rejected by Para and Sylvester.
We saw Para do this last night. She dives into that seam. That's a very picturesque block there for an outside hitter.
11 blocks now for the Horned Frogs. 2 for Para. Sylvester gets that one up after Fernholz couldn't get it down. Knowles touched. Back to Carter, this time denied. It's Adams who rotated in with the block, and now 12 for TCU. Timeout K-State as the Horned Frogs' big block comes up big again. You look at the records set by TCU in blocks this year. They are, if you look at the highest team block totals in 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets, TCU is all over that record sheet. And they're again in double figures today with 12. Had 16 in a match already this year. 14 here last night. And now 12 today. I mean, with Texas struggling a little bit this year, I wonder, are the Horned Frogs the best blocking team in the Big 12?
Yeah, they certainly might be. You know, we'll see kind of how this season, this Big 12 season plays out. But TCU definitely starting out here looking like they might make Texas a little run for their money.
Texas leads the Big 12, averaging 3.2 blocks per set. BYU right behind them, but BYU and TCU essentially are tied coming into play today, both 3 blocks per set even. BYU was like 3.03, TCU 3.01, but they essentially are the exact same number. The Horned Frogs and the Cougars. Cougars ranked 10th in the nation, and TCU right outside the top 25. Let's go back to Hannah with more from the K-State huddle.
Thanks, Brian. Coach Jason Mansfield expressing a lot of confidence in all of his hitters on the floor, telling his setter Lauren Hinkle all options are good. He's confident in this team.
Well, that's an important note there about the options. K-State, when they were playing well in the first, really were spreading the ball around very well. Service ace out of the timeout against Grigorski.
Yeah, we saw this before. They're going at the seam right between Carter and Gregorski. And Gregorski's playing that ball because Carter is front row, and she's got to go hit.
Bremschreiber going that way again. Here comes Carter. Tip balls in. Miscommunication in the back row by TCU.
Ooh, one of those missed opportunities I've been talking about for K-State. Right now, we're kind of seeing it with TCU. A little hesitation, a little uncertainty.
Jason Williams was not happy with Audrey Knowles, who's playing center back. Serve receive error over the net to K-State. Not an error, but a mistake. Here comes Myers. Adams, right side, her best swing. And the super senior has her first kill.
Answering the call when it comes. Adams, what a swing. Coming in cold off the bench, providing some defensive effort there.
And now Jason Williams, he waved off Riola and said, let's stay with Adams. We're going to ride the hot hand. She serves. Myers swings. They feed her again. No, Knowles just has to play it over. Myers gets it off the top of the block.
Again, missed opportunity there. Bad set by Nicholson to Knowles in the back row. Just not even high enough for her to take a swing. Free ball opportunity for K-State. They take advantage.
Now Rayola does come in for TCU into the back row to serve, to pass, as K-State serves it up with Bolding, who has an ace. They're going to go at Rayola. Para over the head again, kind of behind her head. She taps it, couldn't get it down. Myers off Rayola.
Clearly, K-State sees they need to hit line because TCU cannot stop the line shot.
And they can and have stopped the cross-court shot
right.
a lot.
That's right.
The Wildcats, as the light show starts at Morgan Family Arena, starting to feel a little momentum. And as we were talking a little bit, K-State's opened this arena. It's been electric environments. K-State has played some really tough opponents in this building and haven't been able to give them, the fans, kind of this, man, watch this type of moment. And this kind of feels like one of those, hey, watch this moment.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we've been waiting for, you know, K-State to kind of step into this. We know they have the capability, they have the players, and even Coach Mansfield has talked about that. He knows his team is capable of playing at a high level. And this, what a perfect opportunity. First Big 12 weekend here at home. Get the crowd involved. It's exciting. It's why they play this game, for these moments like this.
11 kills for Leah Carter, 8 for Clinton, 7 now for Myers, who has come alive in this third set. Myers 3 kills alone in the third. And this place is bumping right now. Melanie Para, 11. Audrey Knowles with 10 for TCU.
And Para only hitting 7%. So you can see really K-State putting pressure on her with their block, and she's kind of trying to hit around the block and making more errors.
So the Wildcats, who have won the last set, have played well enough to be up by 5 late in the third, trying to get an advantage here and be up 2 sets to 1 going to the fourth and force TCU to have to win 2 straight. Para through the block of K-State, and Para with a dozen.
And you see that pass was not great, and Buckley had to pass set it. You know, use your arms to set that ball out there, and it was at the 10-foot line. Para, much better job using K-State's block.
Now she'll serve. Horned Frogs want that serve to be in. She gets it. Brenda Schmidt, quick hit, and blocked by Sylvester.
There's a great pass there by Carter off that Para serve. They felt like they had the right opportunity there, but maybe a little predictable with a good, perfect pass.
Schmidt's first attack error on the block. Overpass coming. Knowles trying to dump it down. Shulseski, or I'm sorry, Morris got to it, and then a tool of a block by Myers.
You just saw Coach Williams just almost exasperated a little bit with that play by Knowles. Wanted her to crush it, not give K-State an opportunity, but K-State played defense, gave themselves a chance, and Myers with the finish.
Hara on the serve receive. Low for Knowles. Blocked. Kept up by Schmidt. Joust above the net. And a double hit.
Steve Schmidt got the first touch on that joust at the net. So she played the ball down low and then goes up to try to make the block. A double contact there.
Clinton. Grigorski now to serve. Grigorski, it's kind of been all or nothing. 2 service aces. Does have an error. The serve receive has been the issue for Grigorski, not the serve. Serve has been good. 3 aces for Grigorski. And K-State has set point. They'll try and grab the upper hand in this match and be up 2 sets to 1.
Back-to-back net serves for the win by Grigorski.
Grigorski, 4 aces, and the Wildcats up 2 sets to 1.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What? Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Welcome to life in the new open web, where the future arrives daily and creativity and commerce thrive. Viant is pioneering a new approach to media, where third-party cookies are cleared from the cache of history and emerging channels open doors to new customers, creating a world where the future is wide open and the possibilities endless. Viant, built for the new open web, built for now.
Your first home sees a lot of firsts. From first loves to first steps. Sure, it can be a handful at times, keeping you up at night.
Come on now.
But with help from the Home Depot, you'll find the confidence to create the first place you call your own. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
An entertaining night here tonight in the Little Apple in Morgan Family Arena. Kansas State, 2 straight set wins. And if it weren't for a little bit of bad luck or perhaps just falling apart mentally in that first set, they might have had a straight set win. They were up 23-18 in the first and blew it. TCU's only set win in the first frame. And here we are after 3, numbers almost even. Another big block night for the Horned Frogs, but K-State has overcome that with good offense, lower error than they had last night. I guess if you're TCU, let's come from their frame of mind. Block party has been there. What do they need to do to get on the right side of these sets and keep K-State from winning them?
They're not passing well. And then we've seen balls just dropping between players, and their defensive effort just hasn't been what it needs to be and what it has been previously when they were successful in winning the match. You know, really, K-State, better energy. They're just playing a lot smarter, it seems. Better distribution across the court, but just the errors have been very minimized, and it's really TCU making those errors, and K-State's taking advantage.
A double-double for Riley Buckley, a double-double for Para. 10 digs for Cecily Bramschreiber. Knowles has 10 kills, 6 digs, 4 blocks. Para, 12 kills, hitting 0.93 though, but has 11 digs. Kansas State led by the 11 of Leah Carter on the kills, but Mackenzie Morris has 21 digs through 3 sets. So we heard Hannah tell us earlier that McMorris had come into play tonight with 3 20-dig matches on the season, and 21 is a new season high for Morris. So K-State needed someone to step up on the back row. They've had it from Morris as she tries to help lead the Wildcats to their first Big 12 win. It'll be Grigorski to serve to lead it off for K-State here in the 4th as they look for a 4-set win. Knowles. And into the net on the follow-through by Knowles. K-State starts with the first point.
Yeah, that wasn't a great set for Knowles. Too tight. Nicholson back in setting for TCU. Wonder almost maybe if they might run a 6-2.
Saw it at times last night. Tight set, K-State ready, but Green got enough on it to go off of Schmidt out of bounds, and Green with a kill. Big night here last night for Green. A little quieter here tonight. 7 kills, but just 188 hitting and only 3 blocks. Big block night has come from Sylvester. Carter on the left. Para. Carter cuts off Morris. Schmidt throws it down.
Brenna Schmidt playing some smart volleyball up there for K-State. She was a little bit early. The ball was kind of too high up there. She couldn't quite reach it, but just the throwdown. Not making the errors. Again, just an important thing. Coming in, doing your job, not making errors.
Out of Eagle, Nebraska, just about 25 minutes east of Lincoln. Para, big swing, and missed it wide. Para, that gesture was to the bench to check with her teammates to see if they could see it in. TCU, the end of the benches always curl around. They can love to get a look at that line shot to see and help out with the challenges. She kind of nodded as they said, nope, that was up. Another good rally here. Clinton trying to end it. Does!
K-State taking opportunities that they're given, those second chance opportunities. An over dig by TCU. Get into system, and Anaya Carter with a great swing on the right.
Transition has been very good for K-State this match, comparative to what we saw last night, where out of system, Wildcats could never get things righted and never turn back right. Now, step forward here tonight.
Yeah, and getting on some scoring runs, which has been huge, giving them a little bit of that upper hand, and now TCU is playing tight.
So received by Grigorski, thrown out to Carter, and did not get the touch. Carter saying she got it. She immediately pointed, but it was a high hand shot. Jason Mansfield says, "Are you sure?" before he throws the card up. Carter says yes, and the Wildcats will challenge.
I don't know.
I don't either. To the naked eye and ear, it felt like she was over everything.
Yeah.
Well, it might have got the thumb of Knowles.
Yeah.
It was in between the hands. Yeah, hard to tell.
Yep.
first look said yes. I'm going to say no.
Oh, I don't know.
Does the ball spin change at all as it goes through? That's the other thing to look at.
Like her right thumb.
Well, Mary Farragher, the one tasked with looking this up and being able to come through with the ruling one way or the other.
It's definitely not as obvious as the previous challenges have been. So.
No, the other ones were easy.
Yes.
We were able to
we got them right.
Pick that out easy. This one's a little tougher. Showing them on the video boards here in the arena. 2 huge video boards on either end for Morgan Family Arena. This new home of K-State Volleyball, state-of-the-art, just a beautiful facility as you walk through it and walk around it. Limestone that's at the other end as well. And the club that's underneath the other video board. There you go. That's what it's talking about, that limestone facade with the banners hung in that club area. And then through the glass doors down to the right is a huge atrium, and it goes over into the Morris Family Olympic Training Center site, which is an enormous strength and conditioning area. The weight room alone is bigger than the one over at football, and it houses all of the Olympic sports teams, if you will, which is nearly every sport here at K-State except the basketball teams, the baseball team, and the football team, who have their own weight rooms. Well, Mary Farragher is ready and gives the point to TCU, so no touch.
Maybe just not a view that they could overturn the call as it was made.
Truthfully, on what we saw, as limited as it was, limited in that we weren't pouring over it frame by frame using a tool like Mary Farragher, but I will say that I think that's the right call. So Carter makes sure.
That's a great repeat there by Sholcheski. Give Carter the opportunity. You knew she was up there wanting that kill.
It's just what your setter, you want as a setter, right? You want, it's an outside hitter, you're going back to your center. Like, yep, that's
Give me that ball.
I wanted it. So Sholcheski out, Hinkle in the 6-2 rotation for K-State. Para, a little different look. Smokes one.
Yeah, I gotta pay attention to Para. She's able to move around on the court. Wide open net.
No chance for K-State or anyone. But a service there by Knowles, a break for K-State. 5 aces, 7 airs for the Horned Frogs. Carter to serve. Good set, thrown out left side, and Para gets the hit.
Yeah, that set again just doesn't seem like there's the connections quite there. But Para smart enough to use that block in front of her.
So now Para to serve. She has an ace in her double-double night. Myers trying to keep it in. Here's Para, dug by Hinkle, and not playable. Para heating up, 15 kills.
That back row attack that TCU is running, I mean, it is so fast.
Florida State notably had no answer for Para from the back row in that match when she had 34. Myers trying to get the kill, does.
TCU, great opportunity there. Got Knowles a good swing, but K-State, nice job staying up and blocking.
Another Lincoln area recruit for K-State, and Myers. Boulding to serve. Adams got it. The veteran. Former big-time recruit. She was the number 18 overall recruit in the nation at a high school in Plano, Texas. And now in her super seniors year, her fifth season at TCU. 113 matches, counting today in her career. Myers got there before the block. On the back line, Para. Another dig for Morris. Adams tips and gets it.
Yeah, much better job, K-State, covering that heart of the court. We've talked about that kind of little bit of campfire defense. They were ready, just a little bit late on that tip by Adams.
Schmidt was not ready, but does get a touch on Green. Back to Myers, blocked. Nicholson, the setter.
We haven't seen her playing front row for TCU. A little bit different look. Coach Williams likes what he sees with her in the game.
So we've seen a 6-2 last night. We've seen a 5-1 switch, and now we're seeing the 5-1 again, but with Nicholson instead of Buckley. Para blocked, but out. Back to back for the Horned Frogs as they try to force this to a fifth. And Jason Mansfield wants a timeout. Timeout, K-State will take it as well. Back to Morgan Family Arena in a moment on Big 12 Now.
Popeye's new sweet and spicy wings don't make sense. Marinated and tossed in a blend of chili, garlic, and ginger, as sweet as they are spicy.
Nice catch. Butterfingers.
Just like my Nana. We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Welcome to life in the new open web, where the future arrives daily and creativity and commerce thrive. Viant is pioneering a new approach to media, where third-party cookies are cleared from the cache of history and emerging channels open doors to new customers, creating a world where the future is wide open and the possibilities endless. Viant, built for the new open web, built for now.
Those new tiles are falling right into place until you run out of, what are those called again? That's it. For doing that doesn't stop, download the Home Depot app.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our economy ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What? Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
Well, if you just joined us, you've missed some great volleyball. Here is a summary of the night. Parr with a double-double, 16 kills, 12 digs. Buckley out of the match at the moment. The setter for TCU also with a double-double. It's Nicholson in her place as the Horned Frogs try to rally and force a fifth. Myers, tight to the net, got it over. Thrown out over to Adams and into the net on K-State. 5-0 run by the Horned Frogs. Carter has 12 kills to lead K-State. Clinton has 10, 23 digs by Mackenzie Morris, a season high. Morris, or Myers, I should say. Knowles well off the net. Morris steps in. Little heavy to Myers, and K-State pays the price.
Green with a finish. That left hand just right down. Exactly what TCU wants. Get her going with those blocks.
6-0 run here by the Horned Frogs to take command in the fourth. They had a 7-0 run to end the first and steal it from K-State. Schmidt with her best hit of the season.
Wow. Exactly what you want out of your 6'6" middle. To be able to bring some power behind her swing. Haven't seen it yet. That was her best by far.
Got in a good rhythm with Hinkle on the set. Schmidt Schmidt starting to come alive. K-State's Jason Mansfield had said that they had seen great progress from her as part of the practices the last 3 weeks, earning back-to-back starts. Schmidt 6 kills, hitting .455 in the middle with 4 blocks, and now an ace by K-State. 7 aces for the Wildcats against one of the toughest teams to ace in the Big 12.
So much better with their pressure on TCU with their serve.
Solszewski got the credit for that ace. And now she'll air into the net, but still a 7-ace, 9-air night is much better for K-State.
So much better. We might have jinxed her, though.
Maybe. Each side has served well. TCU with 5 aces, 7 airs. Clinton into the block. Solszewski jump sets out right, trying to throw off the block a little more. Adams couldn't get it over. Maybe even if she had, Schmidt was ready.
Yeah, that set was inside. Adams just not able to get there and get a good swing.
I could hear it in the background. I don't know if fans at home heard it, but Steve Astor called out as the ball was in flight on the set to Adams. He called out cross court.
Yep, it's going cross court.
To Schmidt, or to, yes, Brenna Schmidt to get there. Knowles over everyone. So after that big run by TCU, now Kansas State coming back into the match a little bit. And remember, if they win the set, they win the match. Gregorski to serve, a 4-ace night for Liz Gregorski, whose season high and career high is 5, set against UT Martin. Just across the net. Quick set. Green with authority!
Wow. That angle in front of the 10-foot line just snaps that ball so fast. Woo! That's nice.
That's as close to a posterize that you get in volleyball. Big time stuff from Green. Gregorski and Clinton collide as they dig that one out. The ball put over the net. Everybody races back to position. Here comes Knowles. Did she miss? No, she got a tip off of K-State. Solszewski said, yeah, it touched me on the right side.
That happened so fast.
Right look at it here. Solszewski trying to get out of the way.
Oh, yep, just right on the shoulder.
So TCU stays in front by 4. Carter comes back with a heady play. It's great to see the swagger back for one of the better hitters of the Big 12, Aaliyah Carter, 2-time first team All Big 12 selection, preseason All League this year. She and Bolding both. Morris with a good serve. That's an ace!
Much better serve there by Morris. Exactly what K-State needs. She's been a little error prone here tonight, knowing she has the ability to put the pressure on that with that serve.
8 aces now by Kansas State by 4 different players. That's the first for Morris. Knowles.
Carter wasn't even sure what was going on. It went straight down.
Jason Mansfield was very pumped up and again was giving Carter a little bit of a hard time for not understanding that she got that. It could have been a double hit on TCU and the ball hit out by the Horned Frogs. Didn't matter. And we are tied.
It's just the setting for TCU right now has not been great. Really low sets, tight to the net, not giving their hitters much of a chance to do anything.
4-0 run by K-State. Para to the middle.
Morris better read on that. Almost there, but Para, smart.
17 kills for Para. Remschreiber to serve. Clinton right sideline.
Clinton's been so good with that line shot.
on both pins.
Yes. Personally, my favorite shot to hit, so I love it.
Clinton now with 11 kills. Her career high is 13, set against Lipscomb last weekend. Knowles, great finish. Well, we're seeing some big swings here now in this fourth set.
I'm not sure if you can hear it at home, but there is some power behind these swings.
We had some thunderstorms come through the area last night. Thunder being brought in the building tonight. Fernholz will get a break and a kill after fading back to get that one.
Yeah, that set was wide of the antenna. And Fernholz, nice job just rolling it into the court. And again, these are the plays we've seen that have really kind of turned tides for K-State. You know, earlier we saw K-State not taking advantage of those, and now TCU just can't find a break.
Para blocked, kept alive by the Horned Frogs. Para just sends it back in play. Knowles out of the pass and the transition.
Wow, I mean, again, I know I said it earlier. That is so hard to do. And to hit it with that velocity, I mean, really impressive by Knowles. A reason why Coach Williams is so glad to have her back.
You can see why TCU picked fourth of the Big 12 will be a problem for people. An error at a bad time from Para. The Horned Frogs had some momentum there, but now give it up. Tied again. 8 errors now for the Horned Frogs. Para with 4 service errors for the second straight match. Bolding to serve. An ace already tonight. She's going to get another. Serve receive have been such a thing that TCU have been focused on coming into this weekend. Was great last night with it, struggling with it here tonight. 9 aces by K-State. They'll call a timeout as we look elsewhere around the Big 12 on the scoreboard. It is a final from Lubbock. Texas Tech with the reverse sweep of the Jayhawks, down 2-0 in sets. They come back 25-17, 25-21, 15-12. Caitlin Dugan, 18 kills to lead the way for the Red Raiders as they stun the Jayhawks, the 17th ranked Jayhawks, in a 5-set thriller. Again, we talked about this yesterday, that Texas Tech, TCU were 2 teams at the beginning of the year not ranked, but everybody kind of, you talk to, were like, those are teams to watch at the Big 12 this year.
Can't overlook those teams for sure. And you know, it's tough playing on the road. You know, it's tough going down to Lubbock and playing. And, you know, Texas Tech is one of those teams that you might think, you know, they're, you know, but really some quality players and teams in this Big 12. And it's really makes every night there's an opportunity to go and get a big win. It's loud in here.
It is very loud in here, as you say that. All that kid wanted to do was come here and watch his show, right?
That's right.
All he wanted to do was watch a show, and instead, he's getting a show on the court. What you're seeing there back. He's creating his own commentary at this point of the show that he's watching.
Got a future.
He could be watching us on ESPN Plus, because you can also get that on your phone. You could watch another match and keep track, or you can listen to us if you wanted to. Let's go to Hannah Whetstone with an update from the K-State huddle.
Thanks, Brian. Assistant coach Steve Astor again going over that blocking strategy for K-State, saying they need to block angle for number 12, Julia Adams, and number 4, Sarah Sylvester.
Well, there you go. Trying to adjust what they want to do with their serve or with their block. Another ace for K-State. 10 on the night, and then an air by Bolding. That's 10 airs, but 4 aces in this frame by K-State. Bolding with a 3-ace night.
That ball almost went over.
Sure did.
Oh my goodness.
Hit the tape and just hung there forever.
That would have just set this place on fire.
Quick set. Schmidt, but Green gets the better of her. Another big swing by Schmidt. feeling a good connection with Hinkle, but Green was ready. "16 blocks for TCU. Myers, no block in front, able to get the finish.
Yeah, you've got Nicholson up front and Adams. They just haven't quite been blocking as much for TCU, so just great job. You notice the Coach Finotti up talking to her setter, who you need to set, make that block work, hold Green in the middle with Brenna Schmidt now coming to life here in this match.
Subs for both teams, everybody making sure that everything's in the right place. Para from the back is blocked by Schmidt, but out of bounds. It's a kill for Para.
Great read by Schmidt. Just that ball came off with such velocity.
All tied up again. TCU to serve. Clinton through the block. TCU scrambling. They get it over. K-State insistent. They go to Myers on the right. Tip try coming. Brent Schreiber with the up. And then a touch called on the left side by Adams.
Wow. Bram Schreiber with the save. That was the save right there. Huge for TCU.
She hasn't had many digs tonight, but that was a big one. 12 for Bram Schreiber. Turns into a point for the Horned Frogs and a timeout for K-State. And now, as we get to the end of this match, both of these two teams really starting to play high-level volleyball. You know, last night, K-State did not put their best foot forward. TCU didn't play great, but certainly just took advantage of all those errors and rolled K-State in 3 sets. It was a little back and forth early, but I don't know that you would say it was high-level volleyball. But right now, we're starting to see players make plays.
Yeah, they're flying all over the court, and we're seeing just some phenomenal attacking on both sides. Just the velocity, the shots that are being made, and you know, this is what we came to watch, right? Is this kind of volleyball, and really kind of what we expected to see out of this matchup.
Jason Williams talking with his team. Jason Mansfield into the huddle to talk with his. And out of the timeout, K-State, who has won the last 2 sets, had a set 1 win in hand, up 23-18, but gave up 7 straight points at the end of the first set to lose. Could have walked out of here with a match win already. But TCU now, with just a couple of more points, could push this to a race to 15 points in the 5th set. This is just the 3rd time all season that K-State has played a match beyond 3 sets. It's kind of been all or nothing.
It has.
For the Wildcats. They have won a 4-setter earlier this year at Portland, and they lost a 5-setter on the road against Lipscomb. Para and the Horned Frogs have played only 1 5-set match all year long, and that was their loss to Northern Iowa down at the Texas A&M Invitational. Knowles to serve. Clinton is roofed.
Much different swing by Clinton. Just sitting here watching her, she almost overruns the ball and has to side, just kind of the ball's behind her. So you're not able to see the block and get quite an attack. She's got to get off transition a little better.
Schmidt, right side, dug by Para, thrown to the corner. Here comes Clinton again. This time gets the finish.
Such a better swing by Clinton. Get a better runway at the ball. Keeps that in front of her, sees the block. Great shot.
A dozen kills for Clinton. K-State down a point, trying to upset the Horned Frogs in their home court. And here's Grigorski. 4 aces for Grigorski tonight. Just across the net. 2 hitters left side, dug out or blocked by K-State. Adams on the right, tip try. There's Clinton. It's left for Carter. And into the net on TCU. The net certainly moved. Whether that was from the ball or a hitter or a blocker of TCU is the question, and Jason Williams not happy with the call.
Might as well.
And a challenge coming from the Horned Frogs. It looked like Carter, with the ball, hit the tape. Not a Horned Frog, but we'll get a better look. That first review or first look we just saw there, it looks again like K-State did not get a blocking error. Now, if this challenge is won by TCU, they will replay the point. There will be no awarding of point to TCU.
TCU actually dug this ball.
That's right.
Had an opportunity to keep playing.
I don't think Green hit the net here. Here's the hard part. It'd be hard to see something that shows that she didn't because the net's bouncing already.
Yes. And then the color of the uniform also, that light gray, the arm up there against the kind of white tape makes it difficult to really see that separation of color.
A big call in this regard. We're so late in the fourth that if it stays with K-State, then we're tied. If it replays the point, TCU, you feel like it's not great, but at least it's not a tie. We're still in front. Here comes Mary Farragher with the call. And they'll give the point to K-State. Jason Williams wants an explanation. Now here's what could have happened as well. Carter violently hit the tape. That net could have bounced up and hit the arm of Green, even if she doesn't think she actually pressed down to touch it. Here's Gregorski. Knowles, tip try. Carter on a high set. Got the hands, nothing else. Knowles a big swing. It's match point.
This is a tough rotation for TCU. Parra's in the back row, Knowles, Green, and Adams. Who are you going to go to for TCU? Knowles, obviously the obvious choice. So really for K-State's defense, they know, get out there, put up a big block. That's what they just did. Brings them to set and match point.
10th block of the night for K-State. So they've hit double digits, and the two of the best blocking teams in the Big 12 have put on a block show here in the last 2 days. The 17 blocks by TCU have tied for the most in the Big 12 this season. Only Texas has a 17 block match this season. As you would expect, at a night where there's been a combined 27 blocks, there's been a lot of errors. 52 combined errors, as each block is an error on the opponent. As Morgan Family Arena again becomes deafening. K-State at match point. Trying to upset the Horned Frogs and get win number 1 of the Big 12. And you feel in some respects a little bit of a turning point for K-State. After really not playing well, they practiced well but hadn't performed well. Tonight, they have performed pretty well.
Yeah, I would definitely say this is the best cohesive team that I've seen K-State really put out there on the court. And they found their consistency. They were able to consistently continue, not let the pressure of this, you know, how tight this has been in this fourth set, put themselves in the driver's seat.
Gregorski serving for the match. She served and won the set, last set, on an ace. K-State fans on their feet. Knowles, left side, says not just yet.
Wow. She rips that down the line. Wow.
Extra points in the fourth. Win by 2.
Look who's front row, Parra for TCU.
So they get out of that rotation. They get to a much better rotation now. Knowles, Parra, and Green on front row. And it's Rayola into serve, and she gets an ace. And now TCU with the set point.
Yeah, we've seen this. We've got Carter and Gregorski. See who they take advantage of right now. Carter, she's front row. She's attacking. Try to get that outside hitter out of position.
Just the second ace since the second set for TCU. Now they have 1 point away from a fifth forced. Carter couldn't finish. Horned Frogs can tie or take the game to a fifth right here. Couldn't get it with Parra. Outright for Clinton. Blocked, but out! K-State breaks the set point. Back and forth we go, and now K-State gets Boulding back into the match up front. And they'll serve with Morris. Morris has an ace tonight. Deep serve. Raiola with a good pass. Back set to Knowles. K-State screaming for a double hit.
Yeah, it's so tough. Again, we kind of talk, it's a judgment call. They've kind of been letting them play. They've only called it maybe once or twice here this match.
So set point again for TCU. Their second. Bramschreiber to serve. Grigorski eaten up a bit. Tough for Szolszewski to get to Carter. Chance here for Knowles. And an error on K-State. It'll be on Carter. We go to a fifth as TCU rallies to win it 27-25. A race to 15 points when we return to the Little Apple on Big 12 Now and ESPN+.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What? Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
We love our house. The outdoor space is great, but we do have invasive weeds.
Ranger! He's up here!
At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. We save so much.
Stay away from my family!
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
How'd you spend the off-season?
The off-season?
Little Caesars tastes so good.
It tastes even better with my best friends!
Three best friends eating pizza all the time, having fun. Pizza, pizza pounds for life.
The off-season? Just hit the weights.
Try the new four-quart accounts only from Little Caesars for $8.99. It's officially delicious.
Pizza, pizza.
Barkley for the Ruffles.
Charles, it's barbecue time.
Nah, Chuck's always been a little twisted.
Everybody knows you love cheese, old man. So hit 6. Oh!
No!
Ruffles, choose the flavor that speaks to you.
We're playing extra or fifth set volleyball in the Little Apple. TCU was 17 blocks to tie the most of the Big 12 this year by any team. K-State with 10 of their own. Aces have been a big story. Kansas State with 10 of those. Aaliyah Carter with 14 kills, 13 for Anaya Clint, which ties a career high. Melanie Parra, double-double, 18 kills, 15 digs. 16 kills for Audrey Knowles. She has a double-double with 10 digs. Mackenzie Morris, a season-high 23 digs. It's been great volleyball. It's been fun to watch, and now we get to watch a race to 15 points, and every mistake becomes magnified at this point.
Yes, so important. Those miscommunications we've seen, you know, both teams sometimes having those, like all of those points count, and it's such, it can be such a, just an up and down match. So who can mentally stay tough enough in this fifth set to finish it?
What a dig night for Mackenzie Morris, but 9 as well for Lauren Hinkle, who's closing in on a double-double. Izzy Szolszewski with a double-double tonight for K-State. Riley Bucky with a double-double for TCU. Let's go to Hannah Whetstone, who has an update from K-State's huddle.
Thanks, Brian. Head coach Jason Mansfield reminding this team they're going to 15. They have got to be focused and in this game on every single point. They cannot lose focus, and he reminded them to keep attacking the ball, attack, attack, attack.
Each team gets an additional challenge here in the 5th.
And you really feel like that message from Coach Mansfield, like no time for tipping, no time for playing it safe. Go up there and swing, and K-State's done a really nice job of taking their opportunities.
Well, the other part of it, too, that I thought of when Hannah said that was, don't worry, again, just don't worry about what happens. Go after it, yes. Chase it. Don't, and that's been the team's issue the last couple of matches, is maybe being a little tentative at times.
Correct.
Playing on their heels as things get bad and maybe go off kilter. Instead, if you give the message of attack, 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 a little psychology there by Jason Mansfield,
yes.
You get that into the brain of, I got to go, keep going, and kind of no rest time to think and sit back and maybe feel sorry for yourself. K-State will serve with Grigorski, their best server. 4 aces on the night for Grigorski. Deep serve. Quick set, middle and green, an emphatic start to the 5th.
Wow. Kind of how we saw the first set start for TCU. That set was also extremely low. I can't believe she was able to get that over.
9 kills now for Green, so she's exploded here late after a great match against K-State a night ago. Green now 9 kills, 7 blocks, so Green closing in on a double-double. As odd as it might sound, a kill-block double-double. Here comes Clinton, right side, block, but out. Point and kill for Clinton, a new career high for the redshirt freshman.
Coach Mansfield's got to be excited about what she's able to bring to the table.
Now hitting 294 is Clinton. Knowles tipping. Clinton a hand on it. Carter, big block, but out. K-State turns that around.
Yeah, important. K-State kind of just keeps playing through that. And other coaches are yelling for a double or a lift, but they have to continue to play their game. Don't get distracted by those plays.
Morris now to serve. 1 ace for Morris on a 10-ace night for K-State. Para, who's been quiet here down the stretch. Back to Carter. Through the block again! 3 in a row for K-State.
Knowles reaching a little bit too much on this block, and Carter able to get the kill.
So Mansfield with some instructions for Carter as well. Not a good serve received by the Horned Frogs. Para coming and able to get it off of Morris.
Yeah, she's been a little bit quiet here towards the end of that 4th set. It was really Knowles that led the way. TCU's gonna want to see her find a way to get some kills if they want to win this in 5.
Yep, that's her 19th, closing in on her 3rd 20-kill match of the season. Bolding at the middle, has not had many swings, but she gets one here.
That was a great swing by Bolding. She hits it high and deep. So hard, nothing that Nicholson could do to defend that.
Bolding has drawn so much attention the last couple of matches. 4 kills for her, 3 blocks, 2 digs, but the biggest number, 3 aces for Bolding. Here's Hinkle, long on the service. Hinkle has struggled with her serve tonight. That's 4 errors for Lauren Hinkle with serve.
Keep hearing K-State coaches after an error like that saying, next play, move on, focus on the next play.
Here's Bolding, overpass. Set left for Carter, tight one, but she uses the block. Again, going back to what we talked before about K-State trying to flush the bad plays and move on to the next one. Coaches as a unison like that, the bench all shouting it out there, trying to, again, it's almost mind over matter, trying to get that mental part of the game. Carter a near ace. Here's Para, trying to clean it up, dug by Morris. Myers through the block, dug out by TCU. Horned Frogs go right side. Here's Knowles. Big swing, Morris coming up. Touched over by Bolding. TCU scrambling. Well done by Nicholson to avoid Brandschreiber. And then Fernholz blocked on the right by Sylvester. 11 blocks for Sarah Sylvester.
Wow, that was something. Bodies flying all over, players jumping over. Great effort. And Mac Morris with some phenomenal digs for K-State.
Para will serve this one up. Carter from the back row, nearly got it in. Knowles flips it over. Back to Myers, one blocker. Over dig. Knowles with one hand got it up. Over to Adams, who's been big late for TCU, coming in. Tough play for Myers, kept it in play. Para from the back row, dug by Hinkle. And a double on Fernholz.
Almost if she would have just gone up one-handed, then they can't call that double. Just tight play. She's used to playing that kind of middle blocker, just that she can go up and just tip it down.
Long rally by these two teams who have played so well. We're tied a third of the way in. Just off the net, Myers gets there. Morris back in play. Carter over the net. Quick set, Sylvester, blocked back by Boulding. Too low on that set. Here comes Adams. She is roof!
Boulding with the finish.
4 blocks for Boulding, 11 for the Wildcats. Para from the back row, slams another kill, number 20. Third 20-kill match of the season for Melanie Para.
Oh, we'll see Buckley back in the game. Maybe front row, bigger blocker, more experienced up there.
So going to a 6-2 here in the 5th is TCU. Buckley up front, 6'1" center, the transfer from Missouri. Lost here in 5 a year ago with the Tigers. Trying to avoid the same result with TCU. Para back with authority again, 21 for Para.
That was a thunderbolt to the floor. I just almost feel like she's not going to get it over the net. Wow.
TCU in front by 1 in the 5th. Here's Myers. Big block in front. K-State screaming for a lift. Didn't get it. Roll shot comes over. Back to Myers. Big block again, and this time in their face. Teams will flip ends of the court. TCU up 8-6. We'll break. We're back in a moment.
Popeye's new sweet and spicy wings don't make sense. Marinated and tossed in a blend of chili, garlic, and ginger, as sweet as they are spicy.
Nice catch. Butterfingers.
Just like my Nana. We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Welcome to life in the new open web, where the future arrives daily and creativity and commerce thrive. Viant is pioneering a new approach to media, where third-party cookies are cleared from the cache of history and emerging channels open doors to new customers, creating a world where the future is wide open and the possibilities endless. Viant, built for the new open web, built for now.
Why do I choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
So I can keep them all guessing.
So I know their game better than they do.
So I can take my game to the next level.
Because when your bed is this smart, you sleep at the right temperature all night. That's why 80% of NFL players choose the Sleep Number smart bed.
Today, foodies everywhere are combining new ingredients with old favorites. That's why they're using Tony Chachere's famous Creole seasoning blends. They add big flavor to your favorite recipes, and that's worth sharing. Tony Chachere's makes everything taste great.
K-State Director of Athletics Gene Taylor, the NACDA 2022-23 Athletic Director of the Year, and Aaron Lockett, former K-State football star, sitting courtside here at Morgan Family Arena. Aaron Lockett now operating one of the NILs for Kansas State. I know you know Aaron Lockett from the days that you were back.
Yeah, back in the day. I went over and said hi. It's always good to see some former players back in town, and he's very impressed with the new facility. Excited to see it and be in the arena.
As are all these Wildcat fans who have entertained with one of the Big 12's best matches of the day. 2 5-setters going on between the two.
Yellow card for TCU's bench.
Maybe coming out a little late.
Yes.
Out of the timeout. Yellow cards really mean nothing in volleyball. Myers, big swing left side. Quick set to Green. K-State got a touch with Schmidt. A little out of system. Myers couldn't get it. Horned Frogs with Para, tipping to the middle. K-State needs a side out. Carter trying to get it, could not. Adams off of Hinkle. Kept back in by K-State and over. Para from the back line gets to that ball and finishes.
Man, it's just, again, that ball. She has to just broad jump so far. Uses the tape a little bit to her advantage.
How she got to that, I'll never know. On the set, I was like, there's no chance that she would have gotten to that. And now a yellow card shown to K-State. Jason Mansfield wants to know what it's for. It's for the end of the bench, apparently, on a reaction on that last call.
You can feel the importance of this match for K-State. They don't want to let this slip away. They've done such a great job coming away from that loss in that first set to find their rhythm. With it being only 15 points, you don't have time to crawl back into it and get a big hole.
Jason Mansfield's going to call the timeout. Trying to slow TCU down a little bit here in the 5th. So a timeout by Kansas State as they try to rally. Had the early lead, 3-1 to begin this 5th set, but the Horned Frogs have turned it around since then.
Yeah, Para has been so electric in this 5th set. Kind of quiet at the end of the 4th, but as you know, such an important part of this TCU team and definitely leading the way. They're getting her the ball every chance they can.
21 kills for Para at last check.
And you see K-State, same thing kind of with Aaliyah Carter. She is back row right now, and they're trying to find a way to get her the ball.
Now this is a rotation. We talked about great rotations or bad rotations for TCU. This is a rotation for K-State that's not their strongest. So it's a bad time to try and break out of this rhythm here for TCU.
If K-State can get a decent pass, you know, they've got Fernholz to pull the block a bit. Schmidt with her attacking here lately. Again, the blockers can't ignore her. And then Myers has been good too, so they really have to stay honest and make a good read. If they can get a good pass, though, that's the key.
22 kills for Para, 18 digs, so she's nearing a 20-20 double-double. Weigelt to serve. K-State led by the 17 of Aaliyah Carter. She has 8 digs, so she's nearing a double-double. 14 for Anaya Clinton, a new career best. 27 digs for Mackenzie Morris. 3 away from her first 30-dig match of the season and her second that she's had in her career. Pair of double-doubles for Lauren Hinkle and Izzy Szulczewski, the center rotation for K-State. 11 blocks by the Cats, 19 by TCU, the 19 blocks, the most by any team in the Big 12 this year. Wildcats need a turn of points, and they'll get it with Schmidt. 7 kills for Brenna Schmidt, hitting close to 300.
It's a great breakout game for Brenna Schmidt. She's been great. Again, not making the errors. Being up and available to attack, and her blocking has been good.
7 kills, 6 blocks for Schmidt, 357 to be accurate on her hit percentage. Here's Szulczewski to serve. Wildcats want to run a point here. Nearly get an ace. Little off balance on the swing by Adams. Dug again by Morris. Myers a big swing on the pass all the way over to K-State. They have their choice. They'll go right side. Clinton, a one-hand save by Para. She won't get the chance at the back line. Brandschreiber slings it over. Back to Clinton. This time Para can't dig it.
Good job by K-State, just staying with it, not making errors, making TCU play some good, solid defense.
Olszewski to serve again. 2 in a row by K-State. Quick set. Green answers back, and a side out coming for the Horned Frogs.
Good pass by TCU. Get Green the ball. Nicholson back in the game for Buckley.
It changed dynamically the match when she came in earlier. Tough play by K-State, not a great serve receive. They get the ball over, however. Right side, Knowles off the back row, and TCU back in front by 3.
First of all, Green, great job handling that over ball. It was short, she used her hands, and then Nicholson in with the great set to Knowles.
Nicholson. To Clinton, blocked but out. Clinton builds on her career night.
Such a good swing by Clinton, very impressed. Earlier in matches, you'd see her every now and then a little bit kind of out of control with that swing, but she's been very controlled tonight, doing a great job keeping her team in this game.
Playing under one of the great outside hitter tutors in the nation the last decade and a half in Jason Mansfield. Para from the back row, dug by Morris. Carter now on the left, couldn't get it. It's Knowles coming strong, missing it all. And it's a 1-point set in the 5th.
Just really feel on those inside sets like that, TCU is just still trying to go too far cross court. You need to find the deep corner, cut it back to the line, make K-State's setters play defense.
Borgorski now to serve, K-State's best server. That was headed deep, Para got it up front. Adams couldn't finish. Clinton on the right, trying to get the tie. Para from the pipe, deep throw, not there. Back out to Clinton. Comes up the line. Did she get the touch? No. Jason Mansfield's gonna challenge. And a challenge by K-State here.
Knowles just said no touch.
And there was not.
It's a great use of it. I think a great challenge by Coach Mansfield.
You're late in the 5th.
And I have to mention, Para has had some great digs in the back row.
Unbelievable.
Just putting her over the 20 dig mark, getting her double, 20-20.
Yep.
Just phenomenal digs in the back row.
Incredible stuff, again, from Para. What a performer. Again, we talked about this before, but I mean, you get players that come along in the Big 12. We've talked about a few, Eggleston, Presley, the last couple have been the biggest names. Presley, the National Player of the Year, Eggleston the same.
You got Skinner at Texas right now. She's a phenomenal.
Unbelievable player. And, you know, Asia O'Neal at Texas. I mean, you can go on and on and on, these great players. And there was ruled a touch by Mary Farragher. No touch. Point to TCU. I think she initially signaled something different. That's the right call. The reaction from the crowd, at first you're like, wait, what? It was awarded? Looks like this is the first 20-20 match of the season by anybody in the Big 12 for Para. Raiola to serve. Carter coming, blocked, and in! A 20-block night for TCU.
Yeah, that ball, you know, TCU knew it was going outside. It wasn't a great pass. So this is where that passing becomes so vital for K-State. You know, you see Sholszewski almost standing at Carter's side when she sets that ball. So you saw Green wins. She went out there and Knowles set up a great block. TCU able to shut Carter down.
Carter denied her 18th kill, and Green gets another block. She now has 9, 1 block away from a double-double. The 20 blocks this evening by TCU, a Big 12 best. They have dominated. 34 blocks in 2 matches against K-State. They have shut down Aaliyah Carter, Sydney Bolden, 2 preseason all Big 12 picks. And Texas and BYU may be universally viewed as the best blocking teams in the Big 12, but it's time now to add TCU to the list. They have jumped to the forefront of the conference with their efforts the last 2 days. There have been 7 individual 10-block matches in the Big 12 this season. 5 of them have been done by TCU players.
Wow.
Twice by Sylvester, 3 times by Green. Green is 1 block away from making it a 4th time this year with 10 blocks or more in a match. Raiola to serve. TCU on the precipice of a 5-set thriller in the Little Apple. Clinton on the right. 1 more for Clinton. Not dead yet.
Yeah, TCU really thought that ball, because it wasn't a great pass, really thought the ball was going out to Carter. Great set by Sholszewski. Smart to get Clinton the ball.
17 now for Clinton to match Carter. Morris to serve. Good serve receive. Sets up Knowles. Block! A dozen blocks for the Wildcats. Bolding and Carter. Timeout, Horned Frogs.
I think a great setter choice by Nicholson, really, honestly, but just great block by K-State set up there. Bolding in there on the action. She's front row. Really, there's great blockers for K-State up at the net. You've got Clinton, you've got Bolding, and you've got Carter. So really tough decision here for Coach Williams. Who are they gonna set? Is it gonna be Para? You know, you've got Green and you've got Knowles. They've got some great attackers, but a great block as well.
65 swings for Para, 55 swings for Knowles. It has been a heavy load for the left side for the Horned Frogs as they try to steal this win back here in the 5th set. They got down 2 sets to 1. Should have all intents and purposes lost in 3. K-State up 5 at 23-18 in the first, but gave up 7 straight points, which you almost never see happen in the first set. And TCU now trying to come back, and as the favored team take this 5th set, they still lead by 1 out of this timeout.
And again, TCU kind of doing it with some, you know, unconventional players for them, what we've seen earlier this season. You know, just trying to find the answer between Nicholson and Buckley. And then you've got Adams that's come in and played pretty great. Raiola seeing lots of playing time this weekend for TCU.
Again, with no Jalen Gibson, the Horned Frogs, next woman up. And they've gotten a good performance from Raiola and Adams filling in today. Served by K-State and an ace! We are tied in the 5th. Morris with her second 11th ace of the night. It's the blocks of TCU and the service aces of K-State. Bramschreiber steps in to get it. Tight set coming. Popped up by Clinton. The Wildcats can get in front. Carter got it! It's match point! A 4-0 run by K-State.
A missed opportunity by TCU. They got a great pass off that serve of Morris. And a bad set to the outside to Para. I mean, that's just plain and simple what it was. Not a great set. And we've seen a lot of that tonight for TCU. And I think a lot of their struggles has just merely been the setting has not been great.
No, and we've seen that because of the rotation between Buckley and Nicholson. I think Coach Williams would say the same thing. They have not had consistent setting. He's been trying to find the right answer. 5-1 with a switch out at setter, sometimes a 6-2, looking for an answer. There's been stretches where it's been great.
Yeah.
But a bad spot for the freshman Nicholson to make a mistake. And now K-State sits at match point. We've been here before. K-State had match point in the fourth, and it was TCU who ripped off a couple of points in a row to force extras and then win it 27-25 to get it to the fifth. What did we hear from Hannah Whetstone yesterday from Jason Mansfield? That he believed his team, that he believed that they had people in the program that they could be successful and match up with anybody in the league. And we're seeing it here tonight against one of the better teams in the conference. TCU thought to be one of the main teams to be in the top 4 of this 14-team conference. Wildcats have gone toe-to-toe. Morris to serve for the match. Both teams out of timeouts. Morris with 2 aces of the 11 tonight. The 11 aces tied for the 5th most in the Big 12 this year. On its way. Horned Frogs off balance. K-State for the match. Bowling.
It's very fitting that Boulding finishes it, who we talked about on the onset. Needed to get her offensively going for the Wildcats because she's a big key to them finding success. Great finish, and in front of the 10-foot line, she rips it.
What a performance by Kansas State. Great volleyball played all the way around by these two. And the Wildcats get the victory, upsetting TCU. Hannah Whetstone is standing by with Jason Mansfield.
Thanks so much, Brian. Coach, this was an incredible performance tonight. You didn't get the result you wanted last night. What changes did you make for today's match, and what did you like today?
I mean, we felt like we had a great game plan last night, and we felt like we did a good job slowing them down. We just made a lot of errors. We made almost 13 errors per set last night, so we just knew we can clean that up. We didn't play the volleyball that we wanted to play. But I loved the attitude all day today. We just felt like we had a great shot, and we had a good game plan. We just needed to play our game.
An impressive performance tonight by Alita Carter. What does she mean to this team?
Yeah, she's our go-to player. She touches the ball a lot for us in serve receive and certainly takes a lot of swings. And so when she's being aggressive and she's being herself, we'll take her over anyone.
And talking about impressive performances, your libero, Mackenzie Morris, incredible on the serve tonight. What does she mean to this team?
There's no one else I'd rather want in the other jersey than Mac. She's the best libero in the country, I think. Great passer, unbelievable defender. Her serve was really struggling tonight, and she found a way to be great at the end, and that's all that matters.
Looking ahead to Big 12 play, what do you want to see this team improve on?
Just want to keep getting better every week. I love our attitude in the gym the last 3 weeks after losses. I loved our attitude today after a loss, and I think that we just got to keep finding ways to get better.
Thanks so much, Coach. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Hannah. Good stuff. Kansas State gets the victory. An impressive showing. Man, it's almost like you had to take a breath. All the emotion spent in that back and forth. You didn't want either team to walk out with a loss. Both deserved the victory. Great volleyball. 4th and 5th sets were something special to watch.
Wow, it was phenomenal. And really just, K-State was down. I mean, we have to remember they were down in the 5th set by several points, and they found a way. They just stayed true to themselves, and really just phenomenal comeback by losing that first set, coming back and finishing a game. It's got to be a lot moving forward into the Big 12 for K-State.
Well, just the mental side of things.
Yes.
And he mentioned it there about how he liked what he saw all day long, that they were almost employing that same attitude. They were already flushing what happened yesterday. They came back and applied that same today. That's got to be a big turn. I mean, this is one of those you can go back, even though it's, listen, there's going to be a lot of great teams coming into Manhattan later this year. BYU, Iowa State, Texas, all ranked in the top 25. But this is one of those moments, regardless of opponent, great team like TCU, that if you're K-State, you go back to and point to and say, hey, remember this? Remember when this happened? You can point to and maybe pull off.
Yeah, a big turning point, I think, for this Wildcat team. Can take a lot from this game and just grow from there.
On the other side, TCU walks out of here with a loss. But, again, if you've watched tonight, you keep falling in love with Melanie Parra and this team as they get Gibson back. Again, not here this weekend. You got all starting to come around. There's some exciting future ahead for TCU.
Oh, it's going to be fun to watch them as they go through the Big 12 now. And, you know, really, like, as successful as TCU can be, this is a big win for K-State.
No doubt. Texas Tech up next for TCU at home, and then Cincinnati 4 straight for Jason Williams' team as they get going in the conference. Jason Mansfield's squad hits the road, then they're back for a one-off Saturday next week against Cincinnati. We'll be here for that one as well. For Hannah Whetstone, for Andy Leach, our producer and director, for Liz Wagner-Bush, I'm Ryan Smoller. This has been a presentation of ESPN.
Popeye's new sweet and spicy wings don't make sense. Marinated and tossed in a blend of chili, garlic, and ginger, as sweet as they are spicy.
Nice catch. Butterfingers.
Just like my Nana. We don't make sense. We make chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Welcome to life in the new open web, where the future arrives daily and creativity and commerce thrive. Viant is pioneering a new approach to media, where third-party cookies are cleared from the cache of history and emerging channels open doors to new customers, creating a world where the future is wide open and the possibilities endless. Viant, built for the new open web, built for now.
Why do I choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
So I can keep them all guessing.
So I know their game better than they do.
So I can take my game to the next level.
Because when your bed is this smart, you sleep at the right temperature all night. That's why 80% of NFL players choose the Sleep Number smart bed.
Lunch?
Yes, please.
That'll be $23.
Your ad says it's free.
Yeah, it is for our Economy Ultimate passengers who paid extra.
I'll just have water.
Okay, sure. Cash or card?
For water? Well, at AT&T, when we offer you our best iPhone deals, we guarantee it. Even on the new iPhone 15 Pro, made with titanium. Not that you don't keep your word, it's just that you haven't.
What? Only AT&T gives everyone our best deals on any iPhone with any popular plan. Guaranteed. Get iPhone 15 Pro on us.
We love our house. The outdoor space is great, but we do have invasive weeds.
Ranger! He's up here!
At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. We save so much.
Stay away from my family!
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
गिरानी हमारी अखिया से आंसुआ गिरे थे दिलवा रोएंगे जान
गंगा जल रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो महादेवगंज साहेबगंज
हम आईबो गिरान तोरा याद में आंसुआ बहे छे दिलवा रोइबे जान गिरान तोरा याद में आंसुआ बहे छे दिलवा रोइबे जान
गंगाजल रिकॉर्डिंग स्टूडियो महादेवगंज साहेबगंज
के करा सहारे रहबै के करा से तू बोलिया बोलबै अशोक अकेला के कहलू कि साथ न छोड़बै के करा सहारे रहबै के करा से तू बोलिया बोलबै अशोक अकेला के कहलू कि साथ न छोड़ब के रानी सोनी लागे आंसुआ गिरैले देहिया काप के लगे जा के रानी हमर अखिया से